Well, hello there. Let's just bring up my guest right now. All right.
Me.
It's me and me. It's just me and you right now. Oh,
Yeah.
Enzo is here. Hello, Enzo. What was that feedback? That was weird.
Is it me? No.
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. Hmm.
It could be a
Yeah,
ghost.
it could be a demon.
Could be a demon live
It's
on
a
Dark Paranormal.
demon. Yeah. Yeah, so we're just gonna hang out and talk about whatever.
Mm,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we
Whatever.
have one person in the chat. We have Enzo, but it's showing zero in the chat on
Oh,
StreamYard. That's weird.
no.
Yeah, I don't open YouTube anymore. I just
Yeah, I find the same thing. If YouTube's open, it's a distraction for
it
two reasons.
is.
It's running behind, so and then if you look over there, then you look back there. It's like so. Yeah, I just don't have it on anymore. If
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a delay. So that might be why it's not up on chat yet. Maybe it should be on if Enzo's
Yeah,
there.
it's showing one in the chat now. Yeah,
Oh,
I
there.
just found that I would get all screwed up because I go to put my intro up, and then I'd have to go and pause YouTube, and
Yeah,
then I'd screw up my intro, and
yeah,
I'm like, you know what? It's just not worth it. Just go
yeah.
through
Just cut.
StreamYard and
Just close down. I would sometimes have it up and just muted, but then yes, still too much of distraction. You can go wrong. So it's best just to be on StreamYard and take your chances.
yeah.
Uh, I gave hey Enzo, by the way, since you're here, hello. I had a ticket. I had a ticket I booked for myself for a Paracon, I think it's called, or something or other,
Oh, nice.
At Mansfield. No, I'm not going now. I put
Oh, isn't
well,
that at Madison Seminary
no, Moundsville in
Penitentiary, isn't
West
it?
Virginia. Yeah, Moundsville Penitentiary. It's
Oh,
on the September 9th. I
oh,
grabbed a ticket. I did the VIP thing. I think a mob called, uh, let me think,
hey,
Paranormal
Wendy.
Quest. Paranormal Quest, I think they're called, are going there.
Okay.
So anyway, I've given it away. I think I've managed to find someone who wants it. So
Oh,
someone's got a nearly $200 present from me.
oh,
200
wow,
American dollars.
wow.
Ah, that's all right. It's best that it gets used because I couldn't get a refund on it. So yeah. Oh, hello, Wendy. Hey, Wendy, it's me again. Wendy will get sick of me. She was in my. Oh, actually, she missed my premiere this morning because she was still asleep. She set her alarm. Is that right, Wendy? You were
Oh,
asleep? I don't know, but she came into my live. Hi, Vixen. Oh,
yeah.
I like that name, Vixen.
Yeah,
Is
she's
that
usually
a
on my
reindeer's
lives.
name? Is that a
What's
reindeer?
that?
Come Donna, come. Yeah, Vixen. Isn't it a reindeer's name as well? Come Donna,
Comic
come.
Cupid Donner. I had to think about it too.
Yeah, come Donna, come Comet, come something. Oh, Vixen. I think so. Is
Yeah.
it? I don't know. I'd have to Google the reindeer's names. But there you go. And either way, it's a cute name.
Yes, it
Oh,
is. Yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is basically like an open panel. If anybody wants to come up, just let me know. Yeah,
And
it's
say
a free
hello.
for all. It is a.
The
Yeah,
only
maybe
person who
Crow is
want
sleeping.
yeah, Crow would be asleep. I reckon he's good at that.
He's good at
Uh,
falling asleep on a live stream.
oh, no worries, Wendy. That's all good. You can watch it later. I put an animation in there just for you. An animation, not a bobblehead. Oh, well, it was kind of a bobblehead, but They didn't do this. They're just animated. Yeah, I put an episode up this morning on that old hospital on College Hill. Just the history, with a little bit of the investigation in it. But
Enzo's going to start picking on me.
Oh, that's a bit mean. Don't do that. I tried to get a look at Sam's dog, Harley, before, but Harley doesn't want to say hello.
No, he's camera shy. If I put him up to it, he'll just go.
Oh,
like, I don't think so. Yeah.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a pug Pomeranian.
Ooh, you'll be so cute. Oh, just chase him, would you? Just chase him and grab him.
Harley, come here. Come here. He's like, no, I'm not stupid. I know you're on live now. Forget about it.
Yeah, so he knows. Yeah, no, I'm not coming in. He wouldn't do it before either, guys.
Yeah. Oh, we have 5 people in the chat. That's more than what I normally have when it's just me.
Oh, well, no one knows I'm here, so it is just you. I'm a surprise.
Oh. I didn't even share it out. Actually, I did on my Facebook, my Art and Paranormal. But that was a couple hours ago. So, yeah. Oh, cute. Drag him over here. Yeah.
No, I don't think he wants to play, the little puppy.
Come say hi. Come say hi.
You need to keep a box of treats near the computer screen. So, so you go, oh, look. A treat.
Yeah, I know. Oh, thanks, Enzo. Thank you, Enzo. Enzo, you can come up if you want. Oh, Crow told Wendy that. But now, where's Crow?
Oh, Crow told Wendy I was on here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Crow. Except, Crow's probably. I reckon he's asleep. Let me see.
No, don't. I don't want him upset. Why would Crow be upset?
No, asleep. Did I say upset? Asleep. Nah, he still hasn't seen my message, which is not like Crow.
Okay, hang on, Enzo. I'll send it to you on Facebook. Hang on, give me a second here. Hang on. Un momento.
Yeah, I reckon he's asleep. Crow generally sees my messages reasonably quickly. I said to him, my messages are the most important. And he should always look. If it's a message from me, it's surely important.
Yeah.
I often have a whinge to Crow. I'll go,
I love Crow.
And then, he's my counselor. He always manages to make me feel better.
Well, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, I'm so happy that I've got like unlimited internet here at my mom's place, and I'm hardwired into the internet. And there's Enzo.
Hello.
Italian? Oh, mind you, proper Italians have blonde hair. Did you know that?
Mine's mostly gray nowadays. I'm getting the stripe down the middle, and I'm getting the stuff on the sides. At least I've still got it.
Me too.
I did get the memo to wear black with white printing on it, so I'm good for the show.
Enzo always has the most funkiest shirts, man. Always. Yes.
I like your background.
Enzo, meet Karen. Karen, meet Enzo.
Hello, Karen.
Where are you, Enzo?
This is a live shot from a bar on a beach bar. There's a beach right here in St. John, Virgin Islands.
Ooh, and you're not there.
I wish I was there. I'm there virtually.
Yeah, well, that's
it kind of looks like
and that's a live shot.
It's like I can reach behind me and pick the whiskey bottle off of the table.
That is so
cool. That's funny.
That's funny.
Wendy just said that she was just talking to Crow on the phone.
Oh.
So where the hell is he?
Oh, well, you know. It's just Wendy, Enzo, you and Wendy, Enzo, and me.
Yeah, it's showing only 2 people in the chat. I don't know what's going on. It's got to be a StreamYard thing. It has to be. It has to be because there's.
I'll take it.
I've been hearing a lot of comkomplaints about StreamYard lately from a lot of different streamers. It's just acting kind of weird. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's why I said I don't open YouTube anymore. I just go just on StreamYard. Like it's just the delay is ridiculous too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So no, I'm on I went to look at the YouTube. I'll give you a thumbs up. It's just Wendy.
Please.
And, yeah, it's just 2. It says 2 1. But it's okay. You didn't advertise it, so give it a minute or 2. Once people, click
people will come around. It's Friday night. Just come around for a drink and a little chat.
Hang on, I'll see. I'll do this. Copy. I'm copying and pasting.
Yeah, I was just looking to see who was on Facebook to see if Sunny was around or anybody else.
I haven't seen
Friday night in America, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It is.
Paranormal. That's right, isn't it? Paranormal.
I don't live in Arden anymore. I haven't lived in Arden in 3 years, but I kept the name because it's a cool name.
You've actually even moved recently. You're in a new place altogether right now, right?
I'm living with my mom now to help her out. Unfortunately, when was it? Last Wednesday morning, I came out of my room to go and use the washroom, and I found her partner on the floor. I had to call 911, and my mom was in Toronto getting her eyes checked, and I kept phoning her, and she finally got my messages, and her driver took her right to the hospital where he was, and they did everything they could. He passed away. I think it was 2 or 3 o'clock that afternoon. So he was 84. His health wasn't the greatest, but we're getting by all right. We're doing okay. It was just like a shock to me. I'd only been here for a short period of time. So yeah,
awful stuff.
Yeah.
How old was he? 80 what?
84. My mom's birthday is on the 19th. She's going to be 80. Oh, I'm 57, and I tell you, my mom's got more energy than I will ever have. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Really crazy. Yeah.
My neighbor that lives a couple doors down, she's 77 or 78 by now. Her son passed away of 57 about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Jeez. And because she knows that I hang out on these kind of channels and stuff, tells me every time that she sees something odd in the house since his passing, because she's been seeing a lot of flickering light bulbs in her house.
Yeah, it was weird. I was sitting here, I think it was maybe a couple of days after he passed, and I was talking to my sister on Facebook, I think, and I'm sitting this way, and all of a sudden I could see his face, and I could feel him right here with me. The joys of being sensitive and an empath. And it's I can't turn it off. I know you're here. It was
I know
weird.
After my son died, it was weird. Different things happened that I just simply can't explain, and I don't intend to try. But yeah, I definitely have a feeling that, especially a mother and son thing, like your friend Enzo, there's something.
There's a bond.
Yeah,
there's a bond.
And I had a similar thing. I had not lights so much, but I had random electrical devices would just switch on randomly at the usually when I was crying and like this and
Right.
couldn't get my breath, something would happen and I'd go, oh, and as if to say, Mum, for fuck's sake, stop crying. Like that's how I felt it. Don't cry, Mum. You know, a photo of him I was staring at just went bang. The same thing.
Wow.
When I was hyperventilating, like when I was and alone, it was always when I was alone. So I couldn't say, did you see that? But I just know he was there. So I think there's that, and you know, and people who watch me know that's why I do what I do. That's why when someone tells me a story about like a haunted place, I'll go, all right, I'm going to look into that so I can in my own because I want to find something that validates what I felt. Right. I want to so badly, but not enough to. Does that make sense? So, I'm happy to go to all these places and look at them and go, ooh, but until, and I don't know if I'll ever, I don't know if I'll ever have it validated until the day I drop dead, but I think there's something in it. I think there's something. Whether or not that runs out, like it's got a short window of time after someone passes, maybe, where there's still some kind of connection and then it just sort of dissipates and passes and they're gone. But certainly initially, like you say, Sam, with your mum's partner, like absolutely, it's just happened. He's probably still like, oh hell, you know, why am I here? Same with your friend Enzo with her son.
My neighbor, she always, whenever she sees like the light flickering or something like that, she does feel that it's her son, and it gives her a sense of relief that, you know, he's okay. He still exists someplace.
Yes, and that's exactly what it does. Yeah, that's exactly what it does, and it does because it's really, it's not a good thing. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yes, I guess I did, but still, I just guess a part of you thinks maybe it's just my grieving brain, but. I don't think it was. And especially I think I've told you, Sam, the night that he died, the night that the accident happened, I didn't know he had died. I was home. I was watching television.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was fine. I was fine. But then all of a sudden, just like, I was just... I cannot even put into words, just so depressed. Like I've never, in my reality, I've never been depressed like that. It was the most awful feeling. And out loud, I kept saying there's no tomorrow. And my partner at the time is saying, what the fuck are you on about? And I said,
you just had this feeling.
I said, no, tomorrow. And then I started to cry. I said, oh my God, there's no tomorrow. And my partner said, what is wrong with you? I said, I don't know. And I said, I'm going to bed. I said, I don't understand. And the next morning was when my eldest son rang me and told me what had happened. And when he told me what time it happened, the time that it happened was exact to the time that happened to me. So that's what made me think, shit, I don't know if I was feeling what he felt at the time of death.
Maybe.
It makes sense because he was happy. He was going to start a new job. You know, so he was in a happy place. He was dealing with something at the time that wasn't happy, but he was in, you know, there's a tomorrow, I'm making a fresh start. And maybe then. But yeah, that was the weirdest thing. It's possible, Wendy. It's possible. I don't like, you know, if I see someone who says they're a psychic, for example, and then they start, and trust me, after he died, I went to a few because I just thought, is there anything he might have wanted to tell me that he didn't get to tell me because we were amidst a conversation the day before. And it's funny how, you know, he just wants you to know that he loves you and so on. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, well, of course he would. Like,
of course,
I'm not ready to jump like some would be. Oh, he loved me. Well, of course he loves me. I'm his mother. Like,
absolutely,
with me, he'd still love me. So yeah, no, I think you're right. Scientifically, you try to break these things down. Even when I've been on investigations, Sam, I try to, with all the equipment and stuff people use.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's coincidentally, you can kind of think, oh, well, could be, but it's still that could be, because it's just equipment.
Right.
It's stuff that's meant to read frigging electricity in a wall.
Yeah, it's like me with the SB7. I tend to believe more of what I hear in my head and what I see than what comes out of the spirit box. Right?
You have to go through your gut feeling.
Yes,
absolutely.
You're right, Enzo.
Absolutely.
I kind of think it's I think you go with your body, what your body feels.
Yeah.
Because your body, like I 100%, when I went to the Washoe Club with Jason and we were in that thing, I had never ever in my life, and I'm 60, so that's saying a lot. Never in my life have I felt what I felt in that ballroom at the Washoe. The electricity, like static all over. And there was 100% the strongest smell of what I detected as pipe, like a pipe, not a cigar. 100%. And good. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Like, I've never felt that. I've got the chills, where you get the.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
And
yeah.
Your hair does stand on end then when you get the shivers, but this was not the shivers. This was static electricity. So
Karen has a cat, Enzo.
Oh yeah, that's my cat. She'll start whinging again in a minute. So yeah, but yeah, me too, Wendy. It is a little bit hard. Your scientific brain kind of goes, "That's not possible." Like that's not possible. But I have seen some things and wonder what they are, especially after Stephen died. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, I've gone to a hospital to get checked out, like high blood pressure or something. And, I'll be sitting in the room and all of a sudden I would get this overwhelming sadness and I'd start crying. And, the doctor or a nurse would come in to see me or whatever. And, I'd be all upset and she'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Well, no, not really." And I said, "I don't want you to think that I'm some nut job that should be on a different floor here." But I'd asked, "Did somebody just pass away in the hospital?" And I remember her saying an older woman had just passed away. And I said, "Well, I felt that the moment that she passed away." And she kind of like, I said, "Do you know what a sensitive and an empath is?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, hi." And it was kind of like, "Wow, you felt that?" And I said, "Yeah, I felt it." Like I even knew that it was a female. Didn't see a face or anything, but I was like, "Wow, I can't turn this off." I don't like going into hospitals, especially for things like that, because things happen there all the time. People pass away, right? But yeah, it's a really odd feeling. It really is.
I just noticed professional paranormal researchers in the chat. Hey guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. As a nurse, I've talked about this before too. I've been with patients when they've passed away, holding their hand because family can't get there. Like oftentimes you ring family and because it's unpredictable. They're not well, but you don't know the second that's going to happen, but when it's coming close. So I've had to make a couple of phone calls and say to in particular sister of one of the gentlemen, and you better get in here because I knew it would take her. She only was 10 minutes away, but I still get in here. And I said, "I'm going to go and sit with him. Don't worry, he's not alone." And I went, but the minute someone passes, it's instantaneous. For me anyway, they're gone. It's instantaneous. You're holding their hand. They do that. A lot of them do a final breath in. So a lot of them go.
Yeah.
And they don't breathe out. It's a breath in.
Yeah.
Like that last final ditch effort to breathe in. And then there's no. It's just like a breath in. They're just. it's very hard to explain. They're just gone. I've only most of them have still sort of the ones that have been awake when they've passed. And I don't know. I can see Vixen and Wendy in here as well. But yeah, a lot passed without family being present because it's
unfortunately with COVID. Oh yeah, too many, way
Sad.
too many.
Yeah, it's not fair. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, no, but it's just kind of like the few that I have been with when they've passed and their eyes are open. It's the same thing. You look at them, and all of a sudden, it's just like you're looking at an empty shell. It's the weirdest feeling, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like that. But that's how I feel. So it's kind of, but you continue to talk to them like I do, because after they've passed, you've got to go out, you've got to do bits and bobs, and you've got to come back in, you wash them down, you wrap them nicely in their sheet, and you prep them for the morgue, or whoever's going to come and take the body to bury it. And so
I've dealt with stuff like that. I was a security guard many years ago at a hospital.
Yep.
And I remember one time, it was my first day on the job, and there was another security guard there. He was like older than dust, right? And I had no idea where I was going. Takes me down to the morgue, and I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know where I'm going. Like, you could have told me before we got there. And then, after a while, I got used to it. And I remember one time I had to go down there and fill out some paperwork. A homeless man had been found, passed away downtown in the city that I lived in. So he's on the stretcher. And, I got my back to him and I'm filling out paperwork. All of a sudden I heard a noise. And I was just kind of like,
what did you hear? A fart?
I don't know what I heard. And I turned around and his arm had fallen off the gurney. I almost shit my pants, man. It's scary. I'm like, oh my God. And it's funny. Like this is before, like I've always had this gift, right? But like back then, like I didn't have things happen to me. Like it started to like years after that. So it was like, whoa.
Oh, look, the funny thing is after the body is no longer functioning and the person has passed, I mean, the amount of times I've rolled, and many, like just about everybody does it, you roll, because I don't know that they do it so much anymore, but when I started nursing, the golden rule was proper sponge bath all over. So you'd roll the body and you'd wash the back. And often when you would do that, they'd fart, but it'd be a fart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, you do. You fart. And I remember.
Well, at that stage, it's not like you have control over it or anything. It's not like it's planned.
No, it's just
exactly, yeah.
What happens to the human body once there's no more energy to keep it going is actually really weird, really weird. And that's also another reason we often put we'll put a diaper or something underneath, because obviously other stuff comes away as well.
Yeah, it's like when you have a baby, it can happen that way too. I've never had kids, but I know friends of mine. I was on the thing to have my kid, and other stuff came out too at the same time. I'm like, okay.
But that's more from the pressure of the baby. That's why you poop yourself when you're giving birth. But yeah, it's just the body. The body just gets rid of all fluids. And that's another handy fact, an interesting fact for those of you who don't know. When a body is being prepared in the morgue, oftentimes that's why once all of the fluid has come out of the body, you look amazingly thin, too thin.
Oh, wow.
So that is why often cotton wool is put in to puff the cheeks back out. The eyes will often sink in a lot more too. So a lot's done there cosmetically by the, it's an art form. But anyway.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah. Enzo. Hey, Enzo, have you ever done voiceover work for radios, ads and things? Because you've got a voiceover man's voice.
No, I've never done that.
He does a great Lou Elizondo.
Lou Elizondo.
Crow is here.
Oh, hello,
Crow is here.
We're
Crow,
just talking about farting, Crow, as in once you're dead.
Farting after you're dead. It's all the rage. Everyone does
pooping and peeing when you're having a kid. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to come up? Crow, you can come up if you want. I can send you the link on Facebook.
Yeah, actually, he's pretty good value, Enzo, isn't he? Do you see what he's sitting in front of, Crow? He's in front of the live. It's a live one, isn't it? Live. Where is it?
This is a live shot. This is St. John, Virgin Islands. Actually, I've got another. I got the stage cam. We can see what's going on over there. Oh, you're taking a break. It looks like.
How are you doing that? How are you getting that?
It's the magic of OBS. I'm using OBS. I've superimposed because this is my real background. This is what's really behind me.
That's still interesting. Yeah. That's cool. Oh, you're into the stars and the
this I can pull up, and I can pull up things like in Hawaii and more interesting thing. This is live from Hawaii right now. This is Hawaii.
Is it daytime in Hawaii?
Yep, still daytime in Hawaii. You can see the big shadow of some of the buildings or some of the hotels is starting to pass over, so it's getting a little later in the day. I've got stuff in Thailand and.
Thailand's boring. Got anything in Brisbane, Australia?
I don't have not so many live cams down there, believe it or not.
No, us Aussies get up to too much monkey business. We don't want to get
That's
seen.
right. We're on regular YouTube here. We can't just have any old thing.
No. Crow, I just sent you the link on Facebook through Messenger.
What's Wendy? You missed some good stuff. Crow had his episode this morning. It makes me laugh. I like to laugh.
Got the monkey cam in Japan. Actually, there's one of those weird deer back there too.
Oh, what's that?
This is the
monkeys.
Yep. Here, I'll slide out of the way here. Whoa. I slipped on monkey poo. This is the Awajishima Monkey Center in Japan, where they've got these monkeys running around, and they have these weird little deer that kind of wander around there too.
I love the monkeys, but they're the sort of monkeys that can rip off a calf muscle.
Yeah, they'll. If you see on the left, they have this little contraption that they will sit there and yank on it all day. It drops little food pellets in from the top of the ceiling randomly, and some of them think it's just full of it all the time, and they'll just sit there and yank on that thing all day long, waiting to get that little pellet of food.
So the secret is to go there with lots of food. Hi, 30. It's Spirit Paranormal.
Dom, do you want to come up on the panel? You're more than welcome to if you want. Any of you can come up if you want to. Like I can throw the link out in the chat.
Yeah, I reckon Enzo should do radio commercials or something. Do they still make radio?
I have the face for radio, I'm told.
Well, you've got the sense of humor, but you've definitely got the voice.
Well, thank you very much. Actually, Karen, I was wanting to ask you a question earlier, talking about how you visited a few psychics in the past. I was wondering how that turned out for you. Did you walk into some, you're like, yeah, this guy's full of crap, I'm out? Or did you find a lot of them that were actually pretty good?
Mostly full of crap, unfortunately.
I had,
which is a bit sad. Because I would love to. I do believe that people have some kind of gift in that area, because and scientifically I believe it, only because the brain, as you know, the brain's a huge thing and it's not fully used. So if someone like Sam can be an empath, that tells me that a part of her brain functions where some parts on others don't. And I know that they've done scans, etc., on people's brains when they're doing certain things, and certainly there's a little electric things shooting off here and there that are abnormal in most instances. So I do believe that some people can hear or possibly see things, but I'm yet to really be convinced or find someone that's given me specifically said something to me that cannot be faked, or because
Right.
a lot of these people that make money from it are really good at reading people. Like there's a name for them. What are they called?
Charlatans. No.
Yeah, charlatans. Yeah. No, they've got a name. There used to be a TV show with an Australian actor, and it was named. God, it was an American TV show, very, very popular. And he'd walk in and people would think he was basically reading their minds, but he wasn't. He was reading the room. But there's people that do it. Like they can pick you out. They can read them. There's a name, mentalist.
Well, yes, they ask kind of like the leading question. It's like, you knew someone that it's a B name. They had a B in their name, and they're like, no. It's like, they choose like a common letter, which everybody knows someone that has an A in their name.
Oh yeah.
So that, and then they key in on that and go.
The only person I've ever seen, I have met him, but I can't afford a private reading. Maybe I should try. John Edwards. Right?
I was just thinking that in my head. He's actually been proven to be a fake.
Who proved him to be a fake?
I forget who it was, but I remember seeing something about that on YouTube, and he was actually confronted about something, and he got very defensive. I don't remember what channel it was, but I used to watch him back in the day.
I did. Yeah. I used to. Well, the reason I mention him is, as I say, I've met him. And at the time I met him, it was after Stephen had died, and I said nothing. It was just a quick meet and greet thing. It was just that I went to one of his things, right? But watching his videos, be it fake, be it whatever it is, he kept me sane because I was ready to say goodbye.
Right.
I was ready to say goodbye. So I watched all of his content and how he discussed death and what happens after and so on and so forth. And it kept me mentally functioning. Do I believe he's not? Do I believe him? I don't know. I don't know. But I've seen him say things that in person, like live, and I was waiting for it because I know what they do. I know what the charlatans do. I know how they ask the questions, and I'm waiting, and I'm thinking, ask it. But he honestly, he gets really, really cranky because he knows shit, and people go, "No, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh my God!" And he won't go forward. He can't go forward. He says, "I'm sorry, I can't go forward." He said, "There's other people here who probably want to hear a message from a loved one." He said, "I'm getting one for you. I'm telling you this, blah blah blah." And he goes, "Just all right." And then it probably took a good 5 minutes, and this person goes, "Oh shit, I know what you're talking about, blah 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 blah." So that I couldn't explain. So I don't know what I think of him. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. But certainly some things were odd for him. But I don't know. I don't know what I think about psychics. So I just really, I know it's possible, but I haven't personally met anybody that's given me a message that makes 100% cannot be anything else but truthful. And I've given them plenty of opportunity. Plenty of opportunity.
Well, the thing is, I just think, like, this is just my personal opinion. I think if you have to charge somebody to do something like that, then you're probably a fraud.
Yeah.
Like, I would never charge anybody to that.
No, I think if I was seeing dead people and they were telling me stuff, I would just say, shit, all right, what's the name? You're going to have to, whoever you are, you're going to have to give me their phone number, their address. Who are they? And no worries. And I wouldn't charge. No, I wouldn't, because I'd see that as a gift. I'd see that as a gift I had to share. And if I could help the grieving, especially having been in that situation, and still am, I still grieve every day.
Of course.
That's all you just want to know they're okay. But in doing so, anyone can tell you they're okay. How do they know they're okay? I want to hear it from their mouth themselves. I want to hear my son say, Mum, it's okay. And then tell me something that no one else could know, so that I know it was him. He is okay. Good. I'll stop worrying. Because you're still worried. He's gone, but I'm still worried. Is he okay?
Oh, of course. Your mom. You're his mom. Of course you're still going to worry. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone, I don't know who's in the chat. And I don't know personally if you two have suffered a loss where sometimes after they've gone, something will happen and you'll think, oh, like I do it all the time with Stephen. I'll go, oh, Stephen would love one of them. And then I've got to stop myself and remember he's no longer here. Or
I lost my dad. Yeah. This is going to look stupid, but I have to look at my tattoo. I lost my dad in 2007 to suicide. And like I never had any thoughts of that it had happened. But I was told by my friend that helps me with what I have, that my dad's always with me on my left side, and sometimes he'll talk to me in my ear. And every so often, like I'll get a twinge in my ear, and where I was living one time, I've found dimes all over the place, and that could have been from his dad too, my ex's dad. So
why can't I find money?
What's that?
I never find any money laying around.
Yeah. I remember one morning, it was just before Christmas, and the ex and I were still together. He got up to go out to the shop. And I was just waking up, and I hadn't even sat up yet. Well, there was an old box of Christmas decorations on my dresser. And I actually watched this box slide forward and land on the floor. And I'm like, okay, I got your point. They're going on the tree. It was really funny.
Hey, Enzo, Crow wants to know if you have a channel.
I do not. I just mooch off of my friends and go around and.
You're a gem waiting to be found.
Believe it or not, I hear this a lot, and people always give me grief about it. It's just, for me, it would be, I don't even know what the show would be about. I don't know what I would talk about, but I always felt like I would need a partner. I need someone else, because I'm a conversationalist. I like to talk things through and things like that. Me being the one, talking head on the camera. That's not my thing.
What do you do, Enzo? Crow is asking, what do you do? What is your job? What is your profession?
I am full-blown retired. I was in the Air Force for 24 years and retired in 2000. Yeah. I had to speak on the radio more than a few times. So, but that was like 2 other aircraft and things like that. It wasn't like it was, reading commercials.
Did you see any UFOs?
That's actually what I bring to the table. Is not because of my like Air Force things. I don't know where the UFOs are. I really don't. But saw a UFO when I was like 9, and again, just actually it was like 1999. I was saw one in the town that I live in. It was a black triangle. I assume it was a little different from what I normally hear about black triangle and stuff like that, but always been interested in the topic. I'm an old school Art Bell listener. I'm an insomniac. I listen to late talk radio.
I have found your future partner.
Yeah, we had a great time. Remember that episode that I did of Art Bell? Yeah.
Listening to Art Bell clips. It was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool.
You're talking to the what's the word? Converted Crow. Yeah, Crow's fascinated. His channel. He's actually you're working on it now, aren't you, Crow? He's working on putting together an episode about the UFO stuff that's been happening of late. You know, the Las Vegas one.
Oh, the fake one in the backyard.
Well, I don't know if it's fake. They haven't proven it to be fake. That family are being harassed. I mean, so I don't know.
You're talking about the one with the teenager?
Oh, the teenager, yeah. But the one where the police go there, they see it's on the footage. They haven't proven.
Have you seen the picture of the supposed alien?
Not the one the boy had. No. Only others that people have been posting, and they're saying, "Oh, it just looks like an alien from a movie."
Yeah, it's not looking very good for that being a real tale.
No, but either way, Crow and I are both more interested in the whistleblower, the guy who's come forward.
Oh, David Grush.
But basically supporting what we've all heard from. Oh shit. I've just gone blank. You know, a guy who worked in Area 51.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah, I absolutely believe Bob Lazar.
No, don't.
To be fair, I go back and forth on Bob Lazar if his story is true or not, because there are some issues that kind of pop up when you start really looking deep on Bob Lazar, but it's like that
way
could
back.
Be fake.
Like maybe way back, like not
proving his education and doesn't no one at the school knows who he was, and there's a lot of things that come into it, and some people get sidetracked with certain parts of Bob Lazar's story that I feel are kind of that's not that important. Well, he ran a whorehouse or whatever. It's like, well, not really. He didn't run. He did. He never ran a whorehouse. Well, the thing is in Nevada, prostitution is legal. So if you're like a business partner, you invest in a company, they may have dealings with actual, whorehouses, and that you would have that kind of thing because that's legal. That's a normal business in Nevada.
I think what you find when someone like Bob Lazar comes forward with the story he did back in the 80s, what interests me most about his story is the fact that back in the 80s, he was talking about the different things that he had to do to get in, etc. And people were going, "Oh, we don't have that technology. We don't have that."
What? Oh, the bone hand scanner thing? Yeah, that's real.
Like they tried to say, "Oh, we did," but they did have that technology, and they do have it, and even the other things. So, whether or not people believe him is there, but there's way too much. And now that this whistleblower,
but he never worked at it. He never worked at Area 51.
He did. It's proven. Yeah, it's proven.
Okay.
I'll argue with you, but it's actually proven because he's on the log logging in and everything.
He is in the telephone directory for one of the nuclear labs there that's in nearby. That's not Area 51, but that is true. His name is on that list, and when he went into that building, he pointed out where everything was. This is where the break room is, the bathroom's down there, over here's this.
Yeah.
So he had certainly worked.
Another thing people forget is just quite how powerful certain areas of the government are over there, that they can make you look like an idiot if they want to. They can make you look like an absolute Looney Tune. They can erase anything they friggin' want, especially back in those days because it was paper records.
Pre-computer world, all you had to do was literally take out a paper file out of someone's filing cabinet. And you're gone.
So I do believe in what Bob's saying, whether or not everything is correct, but because you're going by a man's memory as well. I mean, and oftentimes people remember things bit differently, but I 100% believe he worked there. I 100% believe his stories in regard to the technology. And now that this other guy's come out, this other whistleblower, I mean, he's pretty high up there. Like, that's a big step for him to take and resign from his position and then come out and tell everybody this is what's going on. And everything he says is
the thing is with David Grush, it's like so many other ones. Where's the actual proof? Grush is going on what he's been told. He's never actually seen anything.
Well, no, but then that's why, thankfully, because of what he's come out with and said, they're looking into it. I mean, it was pretty Crow. Yeah, like, yes, I know Crow, and he did know about Element 115 too, which they said didn't exist. Oh, you're full of shit. That doesn't even exist. It's now on the periodic table. So hello,
Muscovian.
Know about it?
You know who we need here right about now is Stephen Cambion.
Oh my God,
I love him. Oh my God, he's Truth Seekers. You have to watch his channel sometimes, man. He gets so excited, it's like he's gonna have a coronary right live. But he calls out all the grifters. He does a lot of research, and he doesn't hold anything back. Nothing.
Yeah, look, everyone's allowed their opinion and stuff, and that's cool. But I just find I watch a lot of that stuff. I'm a bit like Crow. I'm a bit obsessed with UFOs and all that sort of thing. I actually kind of am of the opinion now that they might have already what do you call it?
Disclosure?
Reverse engineered whatever it is they may have found years ago. Whether or not aliens are still visiting us, I don't know. My personal
I think they've been here for many. I think they've been here for a long time.
Oh no, they've been.
I've always thought that.
I just think that now they're probably not here. Now it's actually probably gotten to the point where our government has actually reverse engineered it, and it's probably the government screwing with everybody. Because I don't know, it's just all a bit odd. Like for that footage to come out of that UFO for the Nimitz thing, like that's real footage. That's something they can't explain, and you can't keep saying everyone's lying because there's way too many people lying. And as you've just pointed out, Enzo, you've seen something yourself. I haven't. I've never seen a UFO.
I've seen them when I was kids. We used to go to. My dad was always interested in them. He used to buy Omni magazine, and all that stuff. And when we were kids, we would go to this park right by a nuclear power plant, and I've even seen them in the sky. So there's
5 of nuclear power plant.
Yep.
I have a theory about that, but we'll go on about that. I feel like because they're often sighted around nuclear power plants or out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, where they've done nuclear testing and stuff like that. I feel that there's something about the energies that have been released that go through for nuclear reactions like that may kind of allow you to sort of see them, kind of a thing. It's sort of like that's the light that just happens to be, you can sort of shine it on them a little bit when those kind of reactions are going on. Because it's such high energy reactions that maybe that allows us to see that they're actually around us all the time, everywhere. We just don't notice. We can't see them. Our limited eyes and ears and nose just can't pick it up. We've got pretty good sensors. We even make adjustments where we can make them better, but we've kind of got a slow processor that can't quite compute all of that stuff that our sensors are picking up. So
yeah, it's amazing. I don't know why you'd think Roswell was staged. The actual excuse for Roswell was staged. I think Roswell happened.
That is one of the things is because there supposedly were a lot of other crashes around that area, within a couple of years of that same thing. And the reason why Roswell gets all the thing is that's the one that they kind of fake to draw the attention away from the real ones. Plus the just the propaganda side of it is it makes the Russians think, because classic Cold War stuff, you make the bad guy think you've got stuff that's way better than theirs. Our shit's from outer space, dude. Don't mess with us.
Yeah, I just feel sorry for the guy at the time involved in that, because he swears that what he saw was a crashed and he got told to shut up. That's what you got to look back on, and that's what I tend to look back on, not so much what they say they found. I looked at the men involved in that story. The man who was basically, his career was absolutely screwed, because he argued and said that it was not an air balloon, and he was destroyed. So why is one man's career destroyed over a story about something that didn't happen? From
a government cover-up type of perspective, that's small potatoes. Like, sorry, dude, you're done.
Like that's what I mean. They've just made him look like a dickhead. He had to sit there and hold up the air balloon and smile.
And you can see it on his face in those pictures, because we're talking about what was this, Captain Jesse Marcel?
Thank you.
Where he's standing there holding up this piece of crumpled up tinfoil, going,
this is not what we got.
This is not what I picked up out of a field 2 days ago.
And the other story that comes to mind, when I was a little girl, I was only a baby, but so I don't, I was a toddler when it happened. But I lived in a place called Springvale, which is in Victoria, next door to a place called Westall, right? And Westall, there was the high school. And that is the high school where the alien craft appeared, right? It landed, so I'm told. It could have just hovered, I don't know, but I'm told it landed. My dad was on his way home from work that day, and he remembers the story precisely. He said a whole heap of the high school kids were walking home, all, did you see? And he's gone, what? And my dad was only a young man at the time. He would have been 20. I was a little baby. My mum was 17. But he said, what's going on? And they said, spaceship friggin' landed into school. Oh, my God. There was all this chatter. The news crews were around. I know. What's that noise?
Oh, what is that?
Getting a lot of feedback there, Micah.
Mike, you've got feedback.
Am I?
Oh, big time.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a TV or something on in the back?
Yeah, sorry, that's really loud. Hey, babe. Hey. Sorry, hold on a second.
That's okay. But yeah, my dad, and of course that was later told in a documentary that you would have had to have seen, Enzo. I know Crows watched it. But it happened around the same time that the one landed. South Africa as well.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, that's way better.
But my dad said, 100%. He said, you can't have that many school kids lying. And then it turned out that the school teacher, he was the math teacher, he saw it. He came out later. Everyone shut up. The news people were there and stuff. No one got photos because it landed and it flew away, and it wasn't like it is nowadays with cell phones. But Dad remembers it very well, and then nothing. It sort of died.
I'm gonna go get a different pair of headphones.
But then I saw it with that math teacher, and the math teacher said what happened was because he was talking to papers. Oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yep. They visited him at home, and he said it was an Australian Army guy and another guy that he didn't recognise, just in a suit, like, whatever, but basically told him, you didn't see anything, you shut up, or else everyone's going to find out you were a drunk and you shouldn't be teaching the kids.
Did you say you met that gentleman?
No. My dad.
Oh, your father did. Okay.
But so basically that man was told, you shut up, it didn't happen. And if you tell people it did happen, you won't have a career. So he shut up. He said, I shut up. He said, I needed my job. But years later, of course, he's retired and he's got nothing to lose. So he's come out and told the story. To all the people who say, it's all rubbish, explain that one. And my dad was there. We lived right next door to where it happened. And my dad didn't see it, but he knew from the buzz, from everything, from what was happening over that next few days, something friggin' happened. They can't all be lying about seeing a flying saucer.
And that's not the only schoolyard type sighting. Of course, there's the aerial one, of course, which is super spectacular, but there's that one. There's several that happened throughout the UK in various different schools in the 50s and 60s, 70s, several times. It's very odd that it's like, what's going on with them swinging by the schools, checking them out.
Yeah, Wendy. It's in a documentary that I can't even think of his name. I've gone blank for everyone's names. He's been on Joe Rogan a few times. Got a beard. He's riding a UFO. I can't think of his name, but he did a documentary where it's got, but it's very, that's much better.
All right.
So I don't know. Hey, can I ask Mike, why were you mentioning Glenn Campbell before?
What?
I think it was you. Someone earlier said, you. The real hero was Glenn Campbell, and then someone said, "Rest in peace, Glenn."
It's not the country music singer Glenn Campbell, which is also dead. But
Glenn Campbell.
I was going to say Rhinestone Cowboy. What did he have to do with
it? He worked at S4. Yeah, he worked at. I think he worked at S4 facility.
I don't know if he necessarily. I don't think he actually worked there, but he was certainly about. He was a non-secret kind of guy, so he was always spying on Area 51 kind of a guy. And he's the guy that would take you up to the top of the mountain where you could look down on top of it. And he was like, "Hey, these are public lands. Oh, that's a listening device." And he'd just go and kick it over. And it's like, screw you. You can't do anything to me. That kind of stuff.
So what happened? He died.
I mean, he was an older gentleman. I don't recall how old he was. It wasn't like it's not like it was anything nefarious, but there was actually a very good chat about his life here recently on. It was just this past week. The folks that did Hellier, if you're familiar with that, the couple there. Did you see the show?
I know, on the Objects Pod.
Yeah. Their Mysterious Objects podcast or whatever it's called. The Objects. What is that? The Paranormal Museum or Haunted Objects.
Objects. Yeah, podcast. Yeah.
Apparently, they came into possession of. It's the old tale of somebody has the abandoned storage locker that nobody's paid for a while, so they just kind of cut it open and give the stuff away or route through it. Apparently, it was full of boxes and boxes of stuff from Glenn Campbell. And he was, if anyone knew about Area 51, it was him. He knew the frequencies that they were using on their radios. He actually was identifying like some of the guard guys that would drive around, the camo guys, as they were called. He was a by the book, law following ball buster for those guys. Because he never did anything illegal. He never did anything outside of the law. He would walk right up to that line, be like, "Yeah, you can't bother me because I'm on this side of the line." He was a ball buster, and it was great.
Are you a museum member?
I'm not. I've considered joining.
I highly suggest you join the museum and take a little bit higher tier. Because they released a video from Bill Uhouse, and they what the film that they released, I think it was yesterday, is just do it. You'll be astonished with what you hear.
Oh,
what? You can't
I don't know if I'm at liberty to deliver this information to people outside of the community, but.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
It's I'm not. I don't know how safe I would feel delivering it outside.
I know they were very concerned about that whole show about.
I know, and they still are.
Is it concerning what they had in their possession? That whatever it is you were talking. Oh, okay. Yeah. Basically, on their podcast that they put out a few days ago, where they were talking about Glenn Campbell. Apparently, in this treasure trove of stuff from Glenn Campbell included a big package that said UFO parts on it.
Wow.
And they showed like a couple, just very briefly, they showed like a couple pieces of metal. But supposedly they sent this stuff out.
Incident.
Yeah.
You want to know what annoys me about aliens, though? Anyone who's seen it, like all those kids at the school that saw it and stuff, they all have a similar thing, whereas there's no speaking, it's telepathic.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, I sit outside sometimes and stare up at the sky and telepathically say, come and get me. I want to go for a ride. Whatever you want, come and get me. Well, they're not listening to me and I'm not impressed. So I'm not happy.
But if you're trying to, you got to read Douglas Adams. That's Hitchhiker stuff that you're trying to do. You got to be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, man.
No, I don't know. I am coming back to America later this year, so I'm going to go to Virginia City. So I might just
nice.
I don't know. That's a desert. Surely they fly around there sometimes. I am going to be. I could drive all the way to. I did look it up once, and I thought it's too far to drive to Area 51. I'd love to drive down there and get told to move away by some American.
Yeah, I don't see what the big allure. I mean, I was in the Air Force for 24 years. I've seen a lot of base fences before on the inside and the outside. Yeah. I'm not impressed. Oh, do you want to drive out there? No. Who cares?
I'm not going to do anything.
There's a fence. There's a guard shack.
I'll be a bit closer to Area 51 in Nevada, so I might try the telepathic thing again.
See, you could go hang out at the little alien and see some of the shenanigans that go on out there. But
no, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Wouldn't that be a story to tell? Imagine if I came back from America and said, guys, you'd all think I was nuts. If I got drunk enough, I could think it, but I don't really drink.
My grandfather took a picture of a atomic bomb going off at the Trinity site. He was a colonel in the Air Force and the dental corps, and he held up his camera after the flash, and it's kind of a little bit off center, and it's mushroom cloud. I think it was what 2 kiloton detonation. It was,
did he pass
what,
away
47 or 48 or something. So he was a lifer in the dental corps. So
nice. That's pretty cool that he was out there to see something like that, because a lot of people don't realize that for years after World War II ended, they did a lot of testing out there in the deserts of Nevada, above ground, regular old testing, just that they could see from Las Vegas. Just granted, it was just a spark on the horizon, but still.
South Australia, I think, is where they let off a whole heap of them too. Maralinga, from the memory. Maralinga, the Yanks, no offense, the Yanks were over here and let off some of their bombs, and all of our Australian fellas, sleeves rolled up. Oh yeah, look at that. Freak me. Like, and then they're wondering why they're dropping dead from cancer. Honestly.
And they believe that's why John Wayne died as early as he did, because
two others too, Enzo. Same actors that have been to, what was the name of the town? They went there, and
I don't recall the town, but he did this awful film called it was basically, he was playing Genghis Khan. John Wayne was playing Genghis Khan.
What?
Yeah. He had the crappy makeup with the eyes, and so it was super offensive by today's standards, of course. But they're riding, like, they got this. They're like, hey, yeah, sure, you can film out here in this desert, and they're riding horses and like chariots and stuff out there, stirring up all this dust and dirt. That's the fucking fallout. They're just breathing it all in. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of the actors involved, the female lead and another. Yeah, I've heard that. He was a very heavy smoker, but still.
And that's true too. But the people that did all the lighting and the sound people, all the behind the scenes people, they all died early, way early, because they're out in it.
Wow. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, well, until they come down or whatever it is that, if we ever, I mean, I personally think they'll probably just sit back and waiting for us to kill ourselves off, and then they'll start again.
Yeah, it's
they're probably all just shaking their heads at us like we're not going down there.
I'm shaking my head at us. What are you talking about? What?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of hope is that if the aliens are there, if another life force can see what's happening at the moment with the nuclear type threats, if they're real, they need to intervene, because if that's what is going to end us all, which probably will be, if that is what's going to end us all, it also ends a hell of a lot else on the planet. Like the planet's basically unlivable.
Right.
So if there's alien life out there, they need to stop that. They need to step in at some point and stop that. Do us in if they want. Laser beams, whatever, magic gas, whatever.
Yeah. If they have the technology to get here, whether that's light years away or just from another dimension or whatever you want to believe in, for whoever they are, they would certainly have the ability to exterminate all of us without a second thought. But
they haven't done it already.
Well, and that's the thing, is they haven't done it yet. So it's part of me is one of the theories is they're so super advanced that they would kind of look at us sort of like ants or squirrels or something like that. It's like, that's curious. Whatever. I'm going to get back to doing whatever I'm doing, and we're beneath our, oh my gosh.
Oh, you got him.
Oh
my God.
You're on camera.
Like, what are you doing? I don't like this.
You remember this, Enzo? He doesn't like the camera.
I know. He totally freezes up.
Oh, look, he doesn't even want to.
No, get me away from this set. I'm in the witness relocation program. Get me down.
He's gorgeous.
No, don't pull my headphones off.
I don't know what's going to happen.
It's just follow Glenn Campbell's methods, which is just keep whatever you do legal. Follow the handbook. Don't cross people. But be but pressure people a little bit. Stay in good groups. Be critical of information. Always look over your shoulder when it comes to information, because it might be, it might be fishy. So
it's usually
don't be paranoid.
Right. Judge them by their actions, not by their words.
Absolutely.
Well, I suppose it's watch this space, because we don't know what's going to
i.e.
Lazar, or Lazar, whatever. So
and that's actually how I feel about David Grosh or however you say his name. Honestly, he did the big interview and he said all these things, and it's like, cool story, bro. But I've heard all of that on Coast to Coast with Art Bell over many generations. You're telling me something I heard 20 plus years ago.
Absolutely.
It's we're in the information age now, where everything's instantaneously across. I'm speaking to people from multiple points of the globe right now, and I'm a nobody. And you can't just cut where the story time is over. We're done with story time. It's time we need some facts. We don't need tall tales. We've heard enough. We've had, since the 40s, we've had nothing but tall tales. We're done with the tall tales.
Yeah.
So there's certainly, and actually he's going about, I said way back at the beginning when they started, government started getting involved with it, it's like, here's how, if you want this to really explode, you start playing the politicians' egos into it. I hear they've got this program that they've been doing it for like 30, 40 years. And they're like, well, I'm on this, I'm the head of this program. And I would know about it if it's true. It's like, they don't seem to care because they haven't told you shit. And, well, I'll get to the bottom of this. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now, is we're getting these fat-headed politicians that are like, I'm in charge of this, bro. You're supposed to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
They're playing the egos against each other. That's how you get stuff done. That's actually pretty brilliant. Not so sure if that's just the way it happened to fall down, or if someone is manipulating that behind the scenes. There's some people that say they are that I do not believe whatsoever. I'm not a Lou Elizondo fan.
I'm just from a personal perspective, not knowing as much as you guys do at all. I kind of hope that some of it's not true. I'd hate to think that they actually do have alien life forms that they've somehow captured and God knows done what to. That terrifies me. I hope that part of the story is not true, because that's revolting. Like if as a human race, we've been throughout history, and even still now, we do the most horrific things to other people. I'd hate to think of doing that to someone from another planet, because what do you think they're going to do to us if they get the opportunity? They're certainly not going to be nice about it, are they? I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd think, you know what? You can all die. That's how I'd think. Magic dust. Goodbye, humans.
Yep.
But they have to be careful. I don't want them to kill any animals.
And that's the thing is, for people that are like, they're here to steal our resources and steal all this water. See all this water we got? No, they don't care about water. If they have the ability to get here, they passed a few trillion tons of water on the way into the solar system.
Oh yeah.
There's
absolutely
our asteroid belt, which I'm pointing out there, which is apparently that's where it is, because that's where I'm pointing. I don't know why I'm doing that. Is full of very rare earth minerals, because that's the center of some other planet that fell apart billions of years ago. So you could get to the rich nougaty center that has the really good stuff. Literally mountains made of gold and platinum and all the things that we have fought wars over for centuries. It's just sitting there. We just got to go grab it. And of course, it's not that easy, of course, but it's something that for a race that has the ability to travel from another star system or another dimension or however they get here,
it's hard to believe
that's child's play to receive. So there's nothing physical like that on Earth. The only thing I think that our planet would have that would be unique would probably be our biological diversity. That would be a little different from different planets that have different atmospheres, different gravities, and are on different stars. You'd have all the biology, everything from plants, from plankton all the way up to animals, should be a little different. I'm actually a little bothered about how even grays look so much like us. You got 2 arms, 2 legs, a head with 2 eyes, and a mouth. That seems like, we're, other than like gorillas and stuff like that here on Earth, we got some similarities, but we're on the same planet, so I could sort of see that. A totally alien planet under a different sun with different gravity, and they come out looking so close to us. That seems a little weird to me.
What do you think? I've got a theory.
Oh, I love a theory.
There's Karen and her theories.
But a single creature on that little planet has decided that it can also destroy that planet. That's the fascination that they may or may not have. They probably come across it a few times in the universe.
I think that the aliens, some of them, maybe not all of them, but I think there could be some here, living here on the planet, but not on the planet. The reason they look like they do, right? They're underwater. They're living somewhere
probably under our feet.
They're under the ocean. That's where they are. That's what I think. And the reason they look the way they are or do is possibly linked to the fact that they are under the ocean, because there's no sun. They'll need big eyes because it's super dark. And they're a bit slimy looking. So maybe that's just because they've got to be slimy so they don't get too wet or something. I don't know, but I just kind of think they probably live under the ocean, because how many times did the ships went back under the water? They went into the water.
It does cover most
a lot
of
of people
planet.
do believe that they're under the water.
It's a great place to hide because we can't get down there.
Yeah,
Not safely.
We sent our we just a few weeks ago sent our best and brightest billionaires down in a little tin can that got squashed right away quick because
and that's not like that's still a fair way down the Titanic.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
It's pretty deep, but it's still not as deep as some areas of the ocean. So so it's possible that I mean like a base maybe. I don't think that.
Sure.
I just mean like maybe they've come in and they've gone, right, where can we hide that they can't get to us, but we can come out every now and then and keep an eye on them. Yeah, well, so I'd love to go there. So long as I don't implode.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's a little deep.
I mean, it wouldn't be a revolting way to go, would it? You wouldn't even know. It'd just be...
Yeah. A gallon or a liter of water weighs a lot, you know?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you've got it stacked on top of your head.
Or confining pressure, you know?
You know, if you think about like how much a 5-gallon bucket of water weighs, and then you start stacking that on top of your head for how deep were those guys a couple of weeks ago, like 20 or like 18,000 feet or something like that. Imagine that's all that and that's coming at you from all angles. It's not just sitting on your head; it's coming from the sides and the bottom, all directions. Yeah, you're not going to last long in that environment.
No. And look, you know, if someone said to me, Karen, you can die of old age, have a heart attack, have a stroke, you can. All of those things are painful. If someone said you can burn, you can drown, all of those things are painful. If someone said you can implode and you won't know a thing, I'd go, okay.
Yeah, that would be quick.
Because I won't know. It'll just be, and I'll be gone.
No, it's instantaneous.
Not a horrible way to go. No pain whatsoever involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd still have a few seconds, of course, you know, with whatever oxygen is left in your brain before you finally pass, but that's always going to be the case.
Implode means
as gruesome as it is, there's a lot of stories that came out of the French Revolution where they would guillotine everybody.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
And they would grab their heads out of the basket, and there was many times where the eyes would still be moving around and the mouth would be moving up and down.
Shit. Man,
and you still got just a few seconds of oxygen and blood left in your brain. It's like, that's kind of creepy.
Or people that would be talking, and they would keep talking even afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy
I
shit.
think it's something like the movement in that regard for blood. Yeah, I think it's maybe about 10-15 seconds, and you count 10 or 15 seconds. That's a long time to be realizing that your head is no longer attached to your body. So yeah, that's definite. But implosion's different. Implosion is someone might turn to you and go, "Oh my God," and then nothing. There'd be no pain. There'd be nothing because it's instantaneous and you're missed. You just nothing.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have pain. Would not have time to compute because there'd be nothing for it to compute to. You just missed. So pretty revolting.
I don't know what the actual wreckage for that thing, but if the main tube that was in the middle part of that, which is the part that crushed, if that was just all some kind of composite carbon fiber, which is what it was, when that gets crushed, it flays apart like little ribbons and little strings with it. That would be like being in a blender for those guys that were sitting in there. They would have been blasted.
What a horrible thought!
Oh, look, they wouldn't have, but it sounds horrendous. They wouldn't have.
Yeah, but it was that fast.
It's that fast. They wouldn't have felt a thing. So for the families.
Why didn't they use like stainless steel or something? You know, I mean.
Well, that would still implode and crumple up like a tin can. So
yeah, you would think, yeah.
Expensive. The whole thing was kind of an experimental kind of thing, and the way that, like, in the aviation world, there's a ton of different things that you have to pass to get the FAA to approve your experimental plane before it ever leaves the ground. Whereas if you want to dump a 55-gallon drum in the in the ocean and do whatever, we don't care. There's no governing body that says you can or can't fashion your own underwater craft.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
be tribute. I know it's a sad thing.
there's
That's
why
my
talking about
sister.
how they died.
there's
Oh,
such
is
Yeah,
that your
the-
sister?
there's
Yeah,
some things that
SB Tribute
this
is
guy
my
should talk
sister.
to some people in aviation. You know, it's
Yeah. That's why talking about the way they died is kind of sad. But from the point of view of the family, at least they know that there was no pain. Like there was just nothing. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
It honestly, they would have been down there. They probably would have known there was an issue at some point. And then again, maybe not. We don't know. Maybe they were just having a.
But
really
they'd
good
gone down
time.
before, right? They had gone down
Oh,
before.
it had been down
Oh,
several
yeah,
times.
all those guys, but not the kid. Not the kid. Not the kid and his dad. They hadn't been.
Oh,
down
right,
before.
right.
Yeah, he
The
was
craft.
terrified. Like I do remember.
Yeah, but they probably didn't use a borescope in the right place to see where the stress fractures had occurred. You know?
Oh, they probably didn't do a lot of things. But either way, the poor people have passed, and for the sake of their families, like their families probably seek solace in the fact that there was no pain.
There was
that's
no
what
suffering going on.
So you know, and I did see, I actually unfriended a lot of people on my Facebook because I saw some disgusting what they thought was funny.
I found that really strange that people, the amount of levity that people like, they're just multi-billionaires. Who cares? It's like, dude, these are people. They have lives. And of course, that young kid, he's an innocent in all of this.
Oh yeah, they were. I've seen memes and all kinds of stuff about it on Facebook, and it's like
I saw someone I saw someone that I thought was a nice person.
Yeah,
right.
Kind of,
what did they
kind of
write?
shows
It
the
was a really
loss of empathy around the globe. You know.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
It was. They said
It's
something
really kind
along
of
the lines
falling
that they
apart.
were cling,
You know.
cling wrapped or something for freshness, to keep the freshness in. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you say something like that? So boom, delete. I don't ever want to talk to that person again. To me, that was the most disgusting. They were just laughing at these poor people that had died, making disgusting comments like that. I just thought,
one of the things that Greg always said at the end of our museum talks is he always said, "Don't forget to be kind to each other." You know.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard out there right now. Especially during the pandemic, and he was just like, it's even harder right now. People need a little extra time, so try to show them a little extra kindness. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can disagree. Like we've disagreed today, but that doesn't mean you've got to argue. Like it doesn't matter. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and you can, the smartest thing to do is to look at what everybody else is saying. That's why if someone says, oh, such and such isn't right, I'll say, oh, cool. Well, where did you see that? Because I'd like to look at that. So that's it's a good, because I could be wrong. Like who knows? Even for example, that Silver Queen episode I did where I said there was no such person. I don't believe there was a rose who hurt herself in a bathtub. If someone's got proof of that and can bring it to me and show it to me, I will stand corrected. But it's always a good. So you can disagree on anything, but still be kind. Like,
you don't have to be like pissy with people or be an idiot.
And even with those people who passed away in the submarine, like you're saying, Enzo, a lot of this, they were just billionaires and so on.
I know.
So what? Are you jealous that they had money that you didn't? Yeah. Is that what this is about? That
they probably employed a lot of people. That's how you become a billionaire.
That's how you become a billionaire. I mean, it doesn't fall into your pocket overnight. You've got to work bloody hard for it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can have your personal thoughts. You can have thoughts that are provable and factual. You can have thoughts that maybe not so much proof. You just might. What do you think? And that's where the beauty of talking to you guys is. Oh, well, what do you think about this? Then you get everybody's personal perspective, and then you find out people like Marco know stuff that.
And if you disagree, it's like, okay, we have different opinions about that. That's fine.
Exactly.
Versus if we were having the same exact conversation on Twitter. It's like every conversation is a knife fight. You're fighting. You disagree with that one thing. We were 100% on everything. We're 95%, but that 5%, I'm gonna dox you. I'm gonna get you fired from your job.
Twitter is
all this stuff. It's
horrible.
Oh, well, I don't go on the Twitter. That's why the Twitter and the what's the other one? There's another one. There's Twitter or is it TikTok?
TikTok.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't go on either. My son, I'm pretty sure, is it TikTok that's owned by the Chinese? I think so. Yeah, my son's in the army. You'll appreciate this, Enzo. My son's in the army. His girlfriend is in security, like high up security. They both said the same thing. Mum, do not go on the TikTok. And I said, why not? Because I was on it because I like to go through the thing. And they go, no, just don't go on the TikTok, please, because it's monitored. So people are
big time.
The Chinese know everything.
It's not only monitored, there's specific videos that they will specifically direct to different areas of the country, like of the world, I should say.
Yep.
If you're in the US, you're going to get funneled in specific stuff because China has their own version of TikTok. They don't see any of the socio-political stuff like you see on TikTok at all.
That's correct.
And it's because there's a lot of younger people that's kind of where they get their news and how they figure out what's going on in the world is because they see somebody on TikTok talking about it. That's turned out great for us so far. That's the dangerous part about TikTok is because they're specifically funneling stuff that just muddies the water rather than something that is going to give you facts or is science-based or anything like that. It's just all radicalized opinions, regardless of wherever you stand on the political scale. It's going to be team red, team blue, and it's there is no in between.
I think that's what I like about the YouTube. YouTube has its issues. Like you can't.
I
mean, honestly, you can't say the S word. You've got to say, what is it called? Unalive.
Unalive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-deleted is one of my favorites. Like, really?
I'm like, they do have. I do not understand why we can't use the English language. But anyway,
adults using language.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, YouTube is very diverse. You have a lot of different people and groups and opinions. It's like a little pot of knowledge. So if you get the right people, if you look at the right content, you'll actually get some pretty good bloody information.
Definitely.
The TikTok thing just seems stupid. The Twitter thing, I'm happy that Mr. Musk has done what he's done and tried to stop a few things. People don't like him. I personally am in the middle. I don't know if
I think he's a character, man.
I do like his satellite that I have on my roof so I can get the internet. I'll give him that one.
You have a Starlink satellite?
Oh, you're on Starlink?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I was too, where I used to live at one time.
Yeah, really well. So I've got that. I kind of like him. My daughters look at me and go, oh my God. And I think, well, I don't know. He hasn't done anything to me. And whenever I see him have a conversation, he's pretty clever. I mean,
he posts some pretty funny shit on Twitter, though.
Yes, he does.
Look, he does, but that's his personality because he's got Asperger's. So, and my
I didn't know that. I wasn't aware.
And my eldest daughter has Asperger's, so I understand that their humor is very different to ours, and they're quite funny. Like they're very
he's out there with some of the stuff.
Funny. So I don't mind him. So shoot me. But I don't mind him. He hasn't done anything to offend me yet. But there's people I don't think.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Where are you going?
Nice talking to you, Mike.
So it was great talking to you, Enzo.
Yeah,
I hope
worries.
you join the museum.
What's the back now?
I'll check it out.
What's back?
See you later, Sam. Sam, thank you for having me up here. All right.
Anytime, bud.
Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye.
There's a few people I don't think highly of. It doesn't mean I don't like them because I don't know them to not like them. But the fellow who owns the Facebook.
That guy.
That's Commander Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Oh wait, it's not. It's the other guy. It's
Mark Zuckerberg.
Is that
Mark Zuckerberg?
I mean, I don't know.
I think I like Data better. We'll stick with it.
he might be a really nice man. He really might. But some of his ethics are questionable. So I kind of think, I don't know. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know any of these people in person. And there's other people I think, well, he's done nothing to me and I can't see anything too wrong. So we all have our opinions, but
I feel Elon Musk, he's taken our ass to Mars. I totally believe it. That's his goal, that we're going to Mars.
Yeah. I wonder if he gets to do it in his lifetime. Well, he's only young.
He's not that old, though.
Yeah, he's definitely steaming his way through. I mean, because he's going through the same, because people give him crap. It's like, well, you tried out that new ship of yours and it blew up. It's like, do you know what the U.S. space program looked like back in the 50s and 60s? Every launch exploded, every single one. They blew up one after another. It was crazy. It was the 4th of July every day at Camp Canaveral. Just the whole thing was a disaster.
Yeah. I kind of think too, Enzo, that this is the other thing that I think Elon's really, really rich, and Elon knows a lot of people. If the reverse engineering thing was happening, one would assume that he could possibly know people that have reverse engineered. Because apparently, according to Lazar, it went out to different companies for varying different things.
Right.
So that's the only thing that puts a question mark in my mind. Either they're keeping him completely out of the loop, he's blocked, because he actually has got a thing about it. He doesn't sort of think it's real, or he does know about it and he's just not saying anything. But one would think that if he knew about it, if that was out there, by now his mission to Mars or whatever, he'd be pretty well on top of it, because he'd
already be there. For my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, everyone relax, about like the whole reverse engineering thing is I'm certain that there are reverse engineering programs in the US, in every country, for any non-residential technology, meaning that they have programs that if they find a wrecked Chinese, weather balloon, they're going to take it apart. They're going to figure out what technology they're using. They're figuring out all the frequencies they use, all that. The same thing for any aircraft or any ships or anything like that. There's intelligence to be pulled from those things. And those programs certainly exist. And they kind of play word games with that a little bit. Is there a reverse engineering program that the United States? Well, yeah. Is it aliens from another planet? Well, not necessarily, but they, as far as actual alien craft and stuff, I do think that they probably do have some crash craft. But where I usually get stuck with it is if they were able to completely reproduce the whole thing, where they can build a whole fleet of them, we'd know it by now. Earth,
I would have done it by now.
It would be the United States of Earth. They would have taken over the whole planet, because that's the level of technology we're talking about. You're taking over everything. You're not sticking around with somebody that's got a bunch of tanks. No, this is a globally, wide kind of technology that if you've got anti-gravity and unlimited energy and, time space warp capability,
you'll use it.
You do not give a shit about.
Oh yeah, you're going to use it. You're not going to care.
Yeah. But we're not really seeing that on the battlefield anywhere on the planet.
No. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Enzo.
That tells me that, okay, if they have reproduced some of this stuff or know how to do it, there's got to be a limiting factor of why they haven't built, zillions of these ships to go do whatever. And it may be a limiting factor of like the power source. Well, we need element 115 or whatever is the only thing that's strong enough to power it. And we just don't have that. We might have a matter of grams of it on the planet that we've discovered in wrecked ships over the years.
But enough to actually,
That's not enough to build a whole army of these craft with. So, they may have done some low end stuff where, you get crazy stuff like, what was the Cash Landrum incident where that weird kind of not pyramid. It was like diamond shaped craft, and all the helicopters came in, and the people that were there stuck, in their car that couldn't run because it knocked out the energy of the car. They've got like radiation symptoms and stuff like that. That may have been like, well, we don't have 150. Maybe we can put a plutonium reactor in it. It'll be just fine. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. Because because we can't master it ourselves because it's so complex and can get away from you so easily. So I feel like if they have it, they've probably been able to sort of reproduce it, but they don't. It's like if when Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and discovered the Bahamas, and claimed it for Spain. If he landed the first spot of land that he found, and he discovered a wrecked out F-22 fighter, no occupant, just the plane. He gathered up all the parts of the Santa Maria and the Pinta and the Nina, and they took it all back to Spain. How long would it have taken from 1492 technology to figure out how that works and to build it up?
Well, they probably wouldn't have.
And what would have been even if they figured out all the integrated circuits and all the computers and just aviation, what's the big limiting factor? Even if they figured all that out, didn't have any fucking jet fuel for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So what you've just said makes 100% sense, and that's where you think of it with that analytical mind. You've just got to I get it, I understand it, but this part doesn't make sense. How can we do that? And that's just it. They probably have tried to reverse engineer a lot of stuff, but even what was described by both Bob and other people, like the Roswell thing, the actual stuff, the craft itself, the body of it is made of the metal or whatever, possibly not even be able to make that. Depends where it came from and what it's made out of. It might be something from somewhere else, So we will never know.
That could be true. Yeah,
we might know one day before we drop dead.
Maybe
we'll see.
Yeah, and that could be it. They could be testing some prototype craft that they've kind of half-assed hammered some kind of high energy source that sort of powers whatever it is. Because if you're talking about a technology that can bend and warp space-time, that's going to require an enormous amount of energy. And it's just one of those things that even if you had the power of a nuclear, full-blown nuclear power plant on board, I don't know if that would be enough.
Probably not.
Yeah, you need to know. I mean, even if you want to go like the Star Trek route, they're using antimatter technology to create all their energy. You're creating a giant explosion, basically, of matter and antimatter combined, which creates an enormous amount of energy. Basically, it's like putting off nuclear weapons.
Down here. When are we going to have our? When are the Vulcans going to come down and shake hands with the humans?
We need to see some Vulcans right now. We need to show them what's
right now.
Yeah,
I love Star Trek. I haven't watched it for a long time, but I do love it.
Oh, I love Star Trek. I watch it all the time. And when you
think about, even in Star Trek, when you think back in the day when they had even just the episodes, the old TV episodes, like old Captain Kirk with his flip out communicator, and now we have flip out.
That's a flip phone. Yeah.
It's a flip phone. Like little funny things, and so many.
This is way better than Spock's tricorder. I tell you right now. Yeah.
So I don't know. Some of the things I wish they would invent. The where you don't have to cook, you just tell the machine what is it. It's looks like a microwave.
Like the Jetsons. Like the Jetsons.
Yeah. And then you can just say, "Can I please have?" And then it just magically appears in the replicator. And the holographic, where you go and have a bit of you just go in the what's it called?
Yeah, the holodeck. Yeah. You go on the holodeck and do whatever you like.
Yeah. Star Trek's good. And
knowing humans as I do, because I've kind of been raised by them, is holodeck. Something they don't talk about in Star Trek so much is holodeck porn. You would have holodeck porn immediately. That'd be like, hey, we invented this great technology. Great, make the boobs bigger. And all, they're flipping levers and pushing buttons.
I don't know. I'm at that age now where I don't know. I don't think I could be bothered. I'd much rather have, I'd much rather go into the holodeck and do something interesting like, I don't know, sit and play poker with Samuel Clemens and a few others. Go riding
It's
horses.
a werewolf.
Yeah. Go riding horses with Buffalo Bill or Billy the Kid. Go rob a
Yeah,
bank.
that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Rob a bank.
Put them up. But not kill anyone, just rob the bank. Oh, dear.
SB Tribute in the chat is correct. Janeway did fiddle with the controls there to make the bartender on Voyager a little sexier.
Smarter. Yes. Yeah.
That was a different case, though. They were stuck out in the middle of nowhere space and had a long, lonely voyage home.
My sister loves Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek's good value.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the reality of it would be anywhere close to that. I think the reality of it, if like Elon Musk, develop some kind of wacky warp drive thing where we can go to the nearest systems within a reasonable amount of time. If that were to happen, I think voyaging amongst other races it would be so super weird. It's like Hitchhiker's weird, just there's a million different references where it's not going to be like Star Trek where it's like, oh hey, I'm a human and you're a Vulcan, but even though we're sort of the same, hey, that's great, we're going to get along. No, you're going to have weird aliens with 18 eyes and 20 tentacles, and they think you look hot.
Spiders.
You're going to get some weird looking thing that you don't even know what it is. You think it's part of the furniture or some Art Deco thing, and it's like, oh God, you're alive. Like Guardians of the Galaxy weird, like Farscape weird, like
Chris Pratt, Guardian of the Galaxy's Chris Pratt. Can I have one of him in the holodeck?
Oh, see,
no,
you said, I can't be bothered with that at my age. But if you have a Chris Pratt on hand, yes.
If there was a Chris Pratt on hand, and that I could live with. But mind you, I think I'd only want him to cook for me, rub my shoulders on the couch and watch a movie. That'd be enough.
Do that.
We'll see. Oh God.
Yeah, we're a little far away from that one too. Again, would require because like replicators and your holograms. Everyone's when you talk about disclosure and all that stuff, usually the first word out of somebody, you'll see it in the chat, is Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
It's like, God.
That's the first thing that they say.
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
All right, seriously. Where we can sort of make a semi-realistic looking dead rap star appear on a stage and sing a song. You're going to create alien ships invading, shooting up the place? No. We're too far away from that. They could certainly fake things. It's like, well, this all happened way over here that you can't see. The people on this ship that's pulling into the harbor right here, they don't know that, but you're in on it because I'm the government. You can trust me. I told you the truth.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
Oh dear. Who knows where our little human race will end up? Probably dead.
Nah, we're gonna be fine. You're all ladies of a certain age. We all survived the Cold War just fine. Where every day we were one button push away from nuclear Armageddon for many years.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Enzo. I was talking the other day to some people. I think it was in one of my live chats, and I said something about the magazine that used to always, and you've just reminded me, the magazine that always had the clock on it. I think once a year they did it. And
Omni?
The Death
Omni
Clock?
magazine?
No. Was it Time? Time magazine did it once a year?
They all covered it. It's a international consortium that covers it.
Yeah, it's a thing. So where's
the doomsday
clock?
clock?
You know, doomsday
Yeah, the
clock.
doomsday clock.
And I said, look, when I was 15, before I was 15, when I was 15, the doomsday clock was 2 minutes to 12.
Well, they just updated it a few months ago. They just updated it a few months ago. It's like, it's 90 seconds away. It's like, really? We're closer today than we were during all the shenanigans that went on during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where we were almost there. We were like, there's the button. We're right there.
The sad thing I find is that you have to explain all that to younger people today.
They don't know.
They haven't got the friggest idea of what we all went. Look, I was a baby, you were a baby, but our parents, like that time period, it was a pretty scary time. And even through the Vietnam War and the 70s and all that. And younger kids, you hear them, you don't know, or you're this. And I'm thinking, Jesus, kids, you don't even know. Half of them don't even know what friggin' the Holocaust was.
Oh, God.
You say, what was the Holocaust? And they go, I don't know, what's that?
That's sad. That is sad.
But that's what gets me. The younger kids, my kids do, because I've spoken about that. I've educated them. A lot of people do, but a lot of kids don't. And I think it's very important to remember all of that, because to remember the very fact that a lot of these young kids nowadays can get away with the shit they get away with is because people that our age group and before fought like fucking cat and dog to get that freedom for them.
Yeah.
And they just think it's their God-given right. They've done nothing to get it. And they
you haven't earned it.
Exactly.
But they'll come, one day we're all going to be dead, and they're going to have to, I know this sounds terrible. Here I am. I sound like my grandmother. A good bloody war and send half of these young kids off to fight will teach them a lesson. They'll go, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Oh, what? My hair's not, oh, God. Oh, what, like they would.
I can't get avocado for my toast.
Yeah. You're funny. But I just think, teach them a bloody lesson.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I remember when it's certainly here in Australia, we used to have a thing where you got called up for national service. So when you turned 18, you had to serve 2 years in national service. I don't know. I don't think America does it anymore.
We don't, not required kind of service like that.
But it was.
You're required at 18 to sign up for it. You have to put your name down and say, yes, I'm 18 and I can do this. But there's no requirement to actually serve, unless it's just basically it's enrolling you into the draft, if the draft ever comes up, which
they had that. Yeah, they had that here too. And one of our prime ministers, Mr. Gough Whitlam, when he got into power, he eradicated that. He said no more. So no more did a young man have, and back then it was a young man, not a woman. No longer man have to fear that when he turned 18 he'd be set off to fight in Vietnam. It just stopped, which is a good thing. But having said that, conscription, whether there was a war or not, you got called up, you gave 2 years and you served in the army, and a lot of times it taught them responsibility. They had to go, they had a job, they had to get up in the morning, they had to take orders, they had to do as they were told. To use the old adage, made a man out of them. And yes, I might be a little bit old-fashioned thinking that way, but I think that's what's missing in this day and age. So many of the young ones are on freaking the dole. Over here we call it unemployment benefits, the dole.
Yes.
They sit on their asses all day playing games on the computer, wouldn't have worked an ounce of anything in their life, but expect everything to come to them for nothing. And they've got no idea. If anything bad happens now, they've got no idea of what life is and hardships. They've got to them, as you say, I've got no avocado for my toast. That's a hardship.
Because we talked about Star Trek earlier. Gene Roddenberry, he was in World War II. He fought in Korea. He was a policeman for a period of time somewhere in there. He had a full life. He had experienced many, many things. So he was able to create these incredible stories of a world hopeful future where we didn't have those issues anymore. We grew out of all of that. You know, we had expanded ourselves to do that, and that was the beauty of Star Trek, is that hopeful future that you really needed back, like in the Cold War, because that came out in what, about 67, 68?
67 or 65, around then.
Yeah, late 60s, we'll say, and that it was, you really needed that at that time, and that carried through with many different generations. Next Generation was the same way. Deep Space Nine took a slightly different take on it, which for the time, and again, it's because people are like, Star Trek's always been political. Yeah, you can put political messaging in the stuff, but you're not smashing them in the face with it like they do today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that's actually one of the complaints about? Hollywood's striking right now because they deserve more. It's like, I've seen the product of your wares the last dozen years, and it stinks. I'm glad. I hope you all get fired, but it's mostly because writers today they hire these young people right out of college because they're cheap, and they don't have any life experience. They don't know hardships. They've never left the country. Everything that, like, you see, like modern day Star Trek and stuff, it's all from like the view from a Los Angeles window. So that's how they view the world as well. Everybody's supposed to be like what I see outside my window in downtown Los Angeles. And it's,
That's shocking.
They just need a place to live. No, they're mentally ill or they're addicted. That's the issue. It's not because they have a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this like one-dimensional thinking, and we're seeing that with even on our entertainment, because we've done such a good job of keeping the peace over the years that they don't know what hardship is. Their hardship is, no, where's my avocado? That's their crisis.
And to the point, actually, where this Ukraine thing has more or less become an offshoot, like, look at that. Like, not even computing to them, the younger generation, what those two countries, but Ukraine in particular, is currently going through. It's horrendous.
It's horrible. It is. It's so sad.
And nobody's
really
doing
is.
anything. Nobody's doing anything because it's all political, and the young kids wouldn't even give a shit. Like that, no one gives a shit. It's actually, it's mental. It
is.
I just don't understand.
All through World War I, all through World War II, all through Korea, Vietnam, all these big conflicts that involved a lot of other countries coming in and doing all these things.
Yep.
One of the things you would always hear about, at least periodically, every few days, there'd be a story about, okay, here's where the peace process is going. These people want to propose this. They broke down because of these issues. Where's the peace process with the what? Oh, there's not one. Nobody's talking about anything. Oh, okay. Huh?
Okay, why not? And probably
no, but nobody's asking that question.
To be really like a Debbie Downer, I think it's because different countries are making money out of it. Like,
that's all it is. It's a money printing machine. Is all that it is.
It's a money printing. People are making. Like, I know the UK is sending stuff to them. I don't know if I can't. Probably not getting. I don't know how it works, but someone somewhere is emptying their pockets of money to pay people to keep this going, because it should be finished. It should have been finished before it started.
I have to admit, because when it first kicked off, it's like, well, this will be over in a few weeks, because Russia just needs to do a tank rush on the whole place, and they'll take it over in a couple of weeks, and that'll be it. But it was December of 1985 when I first went in the Air Force, and back then we were very concerned about some of the tanks that the Russians were using. These brand new tanks that were way outclassed our own stuff, our Abrams tanks and things like that. They were a big threat. the stuff that was rolling down, a year and a half ago that we saw rolling, they were the same tanks. Yep. Everyone was very concerned about in 1985.
And this is what confuses me. Yeah. Like I've taken note of that too, different stuff I've seen, and I'm thinking, I don't understand. There's something just not, there is stuff that we're not meant to understand. We're meant to be kept in the dark about. So, it is what it is. And us little people have got no control over it. And the younger generation really doesn't give a shit. So they don't.
They don't. They don't
give a shit so long as they've still got that's going to become a thing. You should get that on a t-shirt. I've got no avocado for my toast. Honestly, the younger generation, they don't care so long as they've got their internet, their TikToks and their Twitters and all that.
And their video games.
That's all they care about.
As much as I hate to be the grumpy old man, you kids today. Yeah. Actually, it kind of is. There's an issue there.
Yeah. There's something happening.
It comes out of their education. It comes out of what they're introduced to. Is like even like the news about the conflict that's going on right now that we were just talking about between Russians and everybody else. Mm-hmm. You can't believe any of it from either side. It's propaganda A or propaganda B. Which one do you want to believe? Because they're probably both full of shit. Because that's how propaganda works, and it's so complex and ridiculous that you can't make heads or tails of any of it. And even from people that I know that are intelligence professionals, they spent their entire life and they're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I couldn't tell you because there's no sources coming out of either side to verify any of it.
Yeah, and that's a valid fact. I mean, I know I've spoken to my son who's in the army, and I've said, well, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? And he just looks at me and smiles. So they know a hell of a lot more than what we do. He doesn't tell me much because he's not allowed to in some respects, but I just sort of say, he says, Mum, he said, you got nothing to worry about. All he said to me, he said, Mum, we will be at war in a couple of years, but it's going to be with the Chinese. And he said, and even then we're not quite sure what that looks like. So exactly. He said, don't worry about Russia. He said, worry about China. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So it's China that Australia will go to war. They're already in our waters. They're already here.
Yeah.
They're already doing
shit. You're in the thick of it with China. Is for you, that is your greatest enemy right now.
Yep. Forget Russia. And I'm just hoping, no offense, because I know I'm about to rattle a cage here, but from an Australian's vantage point, I kind of hope your new president coming might have red hair, because if he comes, he's got balls and he'll fucking stick it up him. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to rattle any cages. I'm just saying he had balls and he was muted. So I'm wondering, he's the only one I would feel safe with, because the fella that's in charge at the minute, I don't even think he knows what an avocado is.
I don't know that anyone is actually in charge of the United States.
I don't know. It's a bit, and that's just from an Australian's vantage point. That's just from my vantage point, because it scares me. America is our big brother. You're our big brother, and you've been there. Yeah. And we've supported you, and you've supported us through all of those wars, all of those conflicts, and we've always been an ally and always felt safe. But lately, not so much.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, but lately not so much, because you've got a president who's fucking scary. He doesn't know what time of day it is.
It's sad that he is, still doing what he's doing. But the thing is, with his son, the amount of shit that his son is in.
That's what I mean. He should have well retired. There should have. I don't know how it works.
I think that's actually elder abuse. What they're doing to Joe Biden, that is elder abuse. It really is.
In a nursing home. Not in a nursing home. He can probably afford to live at home with nursing staff.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, he shouldn't be running such a powerful and beautiful country. I love America. America's got a rich history and great.
Come to Canada. It's nice here too.
Yeah, Canada's beautiful as well. I mean, we've all got our own
Well,
history.
it's not like your ruler isn't so great either. Let's not get carried away.
Oh no, Trudeau. Don't even get me started.
The joke here in Australia is who's our ruler this week? Because 1 minute we've got one prime minister, next minute something happens, they're gone, overridden by their own party. Then they're back in, then he's gone.
This is the ruler I can count on. That's it.
Yeah, I can't even tell you. Actually, I'd have to actually think right now about who our prime minister is.
I'd rather say that an AI is running stuff right now.
I don't know. Like it's
I think
the
more
same
people would feel
everywhere,
better about it if I said that.
Yeah, political talks. People go, "Oh, left, right, Republican." I don't understand any of that. I don't know what a Republican is. I don't care what a Republican is. I don't know what a Democrat is. I don't know what left is. I don't know what right
I've never voted. I have never voted because they're all talk, no action. What's the point of voting when they talk a big game to get in and then they do nothing? They just screw it up even more than what it is.
I always vote because I figure a vote in is a vote, but I always vote for the underdog, like for the person I know probably won't get in, but at least that gives them a voice. It gives them a voice in our parliament. So if you vote for the underdog that's sort of talking the way you do, it just gives them that they've got a voice in parliament. When something's going to be passed, they can argue it and sometimes block it. But politics just sucks. But I am scared with the future because there doesn't seem to be a solid ruler anywhere. Not like what it was back in the day. Even when I was little, we knew who our prime minister was. We knew who the president was. We knew who the prime minister of England was. But now it's kind of like who is it this week? And with you, a poor old man with dementia who thinks it's funny to make a joke about ice cream after kids have been massacred with guns. Just did my head in. I just don't know. But well.
As far as to circle back around to like disclosure and stuff like that is again and it ties into the politics is for me, from my observations of the whole thing, is no president wants to be the UFOs are real. We've been lying to you since 1947. Nobody wants to be that guy because it's gone on so long that whoever is in office is not going to be in office for whenever the next election comes up because you're the liar. You are going to catch the brunt of 70 years worth of lies, basically.
Maybe. But say you were voted in as president tomorrow. And part of your spiel to get in is, look, guys, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Let's fix this up for the veterans, the unemployed, etc. We'll get that sorted. But the other thing, if you vote me in, I am going to rip these departments a new asshole, and I'm going to find out if they really have been reverse engineering anything. Full open disclosure. If I get in, we're going to know. And these people that have been hiding it from you for all these years are screwed. Vote for me. And then you get in, President Enzo. What did you find out? Yep. Look, this person, public hanging tomorrow, be there or be square. They've been lying to us. And here's the ship. Who wants to go on the first ride to Mars?
Who wants her ride to Alpha Centauri? Let's go.
There you go. Alpha Centauri, let's go. Where are the Robinsons?
That's right. Danger. Yeah, it's it's a mess for sure. But actually, because there are some stories that like when Jimmy Carter was supposedly told about the UFOs, he was inconsolable, crying for like 24 hours because whatever was told to him was really crazy. Bill Clinton supposedly asked, I want to know about these UFOs. Send the guy, I want to know about it. And whoever the general was at the time was like, don't ever ask that again. No. Okay. It's which and how did things turn out for him? there's kind of some weird stuff that happened, kind of weird. But anyways,
well,
so
he shouldn't have let the girl get under the desk. That's what happened to him.
a guy can't enjoy a cigar. I don't see what the big deal is.
Oh, look, I don't know what the answer is. Somehow, some way, it'll come out. Somehow, we've got to get this younger generation.
And that's the twist is currently we kind of don't really have a viable president sitting in office right now.
So you got to be careful.
So if they go ahead and throw the whole disclosure thing out the window right now, Biden is going to be like, we're having blue Jello for lunch.
Let's get some ice cream. I like ice cream.
I just like to sniff those aliens' hair. It's just,
isn't that creepy? Some of that footage of him.
Oh God, it's the worst.
That was absolutely horrible. They actually had to. The news station actually had to break away from it.
Yes,
like
but you see, that's proof in the parcel that there's something it'd be dementia.
He's a creep. He's a creep. I'll say it. He's a creep.
But also, when you get dementia, things that you would normally not do, all of a sudden you will start doing because you have
you don't realize you're doing.
Well, you have a lack of inhibitions.
The self-control part is just gone. So it's I don't know. Geez, we've talked about a lot today, haven't we?
We've covered a lot of bases today.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this.
You're pretty cool, Enzo.
I still have this much thoughts on things, so we can go on for a little bit longer.
Sure, no problem.
Oh dear, what was that you held up? You haven't been peeing in a bottle, so you don't have to.
No. This is my little whiskey bottle.
That's your opinion.
This is my whiskey. Yep.
You love Doctor Who as well. I've just seen your TARDIS.
You saw my little TARDIS.
Yeah. David Tennant is my favorite Doctor.
Yep. We'll see what they do with that show after wrecking it with the.
They absolutely destroyed it. I stopped when David.
I like the original. I used to watch the original one,
black and white one. Yeah, I've seen all of those.
I was a Tom Baker guy. That's where usually it's whoever you get exposed to first. That's your doctor. My doctor was Tom Baker.
The one with the celery shit. He's actually David Tennant's father.
Peter. God damn it! I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Is it Peter? No, it's not Peter. Is it Peter? He's David Tennant's father-in-law. But you know who I mean.
Let me think about it here.
But he's the one I remember watching because I liked him for a cricket jumper. But when I went back to watching it, you know why I went back to watching it? Here we go. We'll get off the horrible subjects. I went back to watching Doctor Who because there was a show on the telly called Torchwood. Now, Captain Jack Harkness in Torchwood. And I thought, ooh, he's nice. Who's that?
That's cool. Anyway, I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Is that a music box or a money box?
It is a money box. It is a bank. It's got little.
Yeah, it's a little bank.
I don't have the batteries in it, but it's got little.
I like that one. I like
That's
that.
Cool.
Now I was watching an episode of Torchwood, and I can't remember who told me. Someone said to me, here's Captain Jack is from Doctor Who, and I went, what? And I went, really? So I Googled and found the episode where he's in Doctor Who, and that was with the I can't even think of his name, the first Doctor in the new series. I didn't really like him much, but I liked Rose, and I certainly liked Captain Jack. And then, of course,
was Bad Wolf at the time.
Yeah, and then they replaced him, Chris, whatever his name is. They replaced him with David Tennant. Ecclesworth or something. As soon as David Tennant popped up, I've gone,
Eccleston.
Hello, I like his character, and that's the Doctor I fell in love with. And then, when he left, I did try to watch Matt Smith, and he wasn't horrid. But then the storyline started to get really weird, and then I couldn't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
And when No offense, but as soon as they turned the doctor into a woman, they lost me.
Holy crap! They had 8 of them all together.
Oh no, he's only partway through the list. He still has more to go. SB Tribute's rattling them all off.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's 11 or 13.
I would have loved to have seen him do more with McGann,
I think
to
we're
be
up
honest.
to the 14th or 15th. We're up to the 14th or 15th Doctor, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. But David Tennant's back for the Christmas episode, along with Neil Patrick Harris is going to be the bad person in it. So I will watch that.
Yeah. He's like, I can't remember the character they said he was, but
like
there's a lot of
toy man,
toy maker or some toy
maker.
king,
That's it.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm not that familiar. That sounds like a second or third Doctor bad guy, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I did like the Master, the one in the.
Actually, what did you think of Missy? Because the Master changed into a woman as Missy. I actually really enjoyed her run there, and that's actually what kind of I was like, you know what? I'll give a female Doctor a chance, but the stories were just.
I don't know. I just think, look, honestly, because to me it's sort of all come about when you had to be. You'll tell what era I was born. All this bizzo about, why can't it be a female Doctor? And what? Because it's a fucking man. He has a fucking penis. It's a male Doctor. All right? Just write a new story and bring in a female one. Bring in a female person. Like
I wasn't super excited about the idea that Time Lords could, regenerate into the opposite sex, because it's like, how the fuck would that work if they were pregnant at the time?
Don't get me started. I'm very old-fashioned, and I do drive my kids crazy.
That's the wrong one. If they're a woman, when they go in a thing and then they do this, and then where would the baby go? Because then if they're a man, then they only have a penis. How are they going to deliver that as a Time Lord? They don't have teleport technology.
It doesn't make sense. All they needed to do, if they wanted a female Doctor, they just had to write the storyline. There's already a female
They had
Doctor.
female Doctor. They had Romana from back in the Tom Baker days.
And they had David Tennant's daughter, who at the end
That's
of the
true.
episode, they had a female Doctor. Why not just write them back in? Why did they have to mess with friggin' what they did?
And Hollywood has gone through the same thing. You saw a lot of it through Disney, where you took whatever the main character was and you subverted expectations, and they were pushed off to the side for the girl that knew everything was their normal trope. And there was just a story today about the new Disney version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what are they doing now? I don't want to know.
You may not want to know. I'll let you look that one up on your own.
What is it? I just think I don't know how Sam feels about this. Actually, it'd be interesting. I am a woman. I was born.
What? When did that happen?
I'm a woman. I have 6 babies popped out of me.
Oh.
I am a woman. And growing up, I watched my mother, my grandmother, and other strong women fight for women's rights to be heard, equal pay, all that sort of thing. Women fought hard for women's rights. Okay, I grew up watching, and I am a recipient of what they fought for. Now, come to modern day, all of a sudden, we've got other people who want to be women, and fair enough if that's what they want to be, and some who don't want to be women. They don't want to be a man either. They've got all these different ideas. That's fine. But don't take it away from me. I am a woman. I
agree with you on 1,000,000%. Yep.
I'm a woman. Yep. And Helen Reddy sang, I am woman, hear me roar. I am a woman. And I've got people telling me, no, you're not. You're a cis woman. Well, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
Oh, well, that's what you are. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not. I am a woman. Oh, apparently it's a new word that they've taken from the English language in the last few years to describe it, meaning that you were born. In other words, telling you that you were born a woman. And I'm just getting so angry. And then when I'm told I'm talking like that, oh, you're homophobic or you're transphobic or you're, no, I'm not.
I'm not either, but I mean, there's got to be.
If you disagree with what they say you are, then you are.
There's got to be an end to this because I mean,
believe it or not,
as far as I'm concerned, I don't care who a person wants to be. I have no problem with that. But I mean, you know, let's say for instance, the Hershey chocolate bars.
What's wrong with the Hershey chocolate bars?
They did something. They had a trans woman.
Yeah.
I think it might have been M&M's that you're thinking.
No, it was the Hershey's chocolate bar. There was a big controversy about that. Sorry. There was a big controversy about all this. But the thing is, like I said, I don't care who you want to be. That's fine. But there's got to be a limit to, how can I put this? There just needs to be a stop to this because, I mean, you know, you've got them in sports, you know. Oh, yeah, a big company did that too. And there was that was Budweiser.
That was Bud Light. Anheuser-Busch is getting smashed right now. I think the good news is we're kind of at a turning point right now where the pendulum has swung as far as it's going to go, and it's starting to go back the other way because regular people, which is the majority of people on the planet, is like, all right, enough. It's just stupid now.
It is really overboard. And I mean, I would never go out of my way to offend anybody because I wasn't raised that way. Right. And neither was my sister in the chat.
And people were taking advantage because
enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like,
and it's kind of like growing up.
Exactly.
I'm sure you guys were the same. Growing up, as a young girl, I would watch our TV show. Here in Australia, we had certain celebrities. We had one lady here, Carlotta was her name, and she was a trans woman, or, you know, back then you would call them transvestites or drag queens, that sort of thing. She was great value. She'd be on TV. We understand. There was a thing called lay girls. If you wanted to go and watch the men dressed up as women and dance and do all that, it was lay girls. We knew there were transvestites. We knew there were trans people, gay people, lesbians, all that. We knew that. Nobody had an issue with it. Milton Berle dressed up as a woman. How many times did Milton put on a dress?
Quite a few times.
Wilson. Wilson did it too.
Was it Charlene or whatever her name was? Yeah.
Yeah, there was tons of funny things on TV and we'd watch. And yes, there was a lot of hate back then, but there's still a lot of hate now.
There is more now, and it's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse because these people that are saying, "Oh, you'll respect me because I am this or I am that," they're not going about it the right way. They were already respected. People already accepted the fact that you were gay or you were whatever. We accepted that.
Being accepted means, okay, you're just a regular person now. They're not looking for acceptance. They're looking for special dispensation. You will recognize and adore us.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and there's many answers to the issues that they've got, like the trans women in sport, right? In women's sport. Right. Okay, you're a trans woman. I think given the fact that genetically you're predisposed to being stronger, faster in some respects, etc., just have your own. We're not saying don't compete. That's great. Just have your own section. Like we have men's, women's. We can have trans women, trans men. That's easy. That's easy. Just compete within your own thing. Or you know, like I know that there's somebody, that same person who did the beer commercial was advertising tampons. Where is he putting them?
I don't want to know.
I mean, because he's
and just to clarify, we are not slamming anybody here.
No.
This is just a normal conversation. But you know how some people can be. They may watch and think that, you know. So I just want to clarify. Nobody is slamming anybody here whatsoever. Just want to put that out there.
The tampon is made up of wadded cotton wool. It's designed to be inserted into an area of the body that exerts blood. So far as I know, they don't do that. The only reason there could be possible from a nursing perspective, for the people that have actually gone ahead with the operation, there could be blood involved because they've got to continually dilate that. So there could be some issues around that.
Yeah, I have a friend who had the change 5 years ago. So yeah.
But if that area were bleeding enough to need to utilize a tampon, they need to go to the ER because there's something not right. It shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
And you certainly wouldn't put one up your bottom.
I would hope not.
I would hope not. So I don't understand the common sense in asking someone like that to advertise those.
Right. And I think that's why you're seeing that backlash that occurred, because people are tired of it. I mean, it's one thing.
We're just tired.
Fine, if you want to, that acceptance, we get it. Do whatever you like to do. Whatever happens between consenting adults is fine. If you want to bolt stuff onto your head, or you want to pretend that you're somebody else, that's fine. That's fine. You do you. That's great. Do whatever you like. Now you're just going where you were outside of reality when you're saying that this person needs tampons. Yeah. And it's people regular folks have had enough. And that's why you saw this backlash of it.
The minute they started to take womanhood away from women, like I'm a woman, and all of a sudden now I've got a new name, a cis woman, and also in some circles referred to as a womb carrier.
The brand new vernacular is you have a bonus hole.
Oh, I heard that. Who is doing that? Remind me who's doing that. It's in something that they've changed it now. They won't use the word.
Fucking crazy people. They're stupid. It's
cervical cancer.
Hole?
That's right. Sam.
You're so lucky. You have a bonus hole.
Yeah. In England, in the UK, Sam, the Cervical Cancer Foundation has now decided the Cervical Cancer Foundation has now decided to keep it, whatever, to keep it fair to all, that they'll no longer refer to the vagina as a vagina. It is now going to be referred to as the bonus hole. And this is a cervical cancer.
I've heard it all now.
Congratulations, Sam, on your bonus hole.
Without that is
ridiculous.
Wouldn't be in the world. Where do they think people popped out of? Oh, that's right. They popped out of my 6 children popped out of my bonus hole.
Nice. Bonus points for the kids.
Oh my God. So the world's gone a little bit mad. And they've actually, and to be honest, I think it's a minority. Although we see it a lot, I still think it's a minority. The majority of trans, gay, etc., they're normal. They're right. They don't think
they want to live their lives.
They
don't want any of this attention. It's basically and again, this kind of boils down to a little bit of social media where the loudest voices get the most attention. Yeah. Even though it only may be literally 1 or 2% of the population, and 2% is really stretching that number.
Yeah, I think so.
but they're the ones screaming the loudest, so they get the most attention. So congratulations on your bonus hole, ladies.
Yeah, like I know I've got
That's
a
ridiculous.
trans friend. I've got one in particular who comes on sometimes on my live streams, and completely normal. Like, you know, and
she is funny. She's funny.
Yeah, she's super funny. And and I've never thought of Heather as anything other than Heather and she. And then I've got another, like the majority of people in that community. I do get confused by the ABC letters. I do.
There's so many of them now.
There's so many. I mean, I grew up where it was you were gay or you were bi or you were lesbian.
Straight.
Like there was 3, or you were trans. It was easier, but that's okay. That's all right too. They're happy with their alphabet. And I really do try to listen and understand and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's sad because for people like Heather and another young lady I have subscribed to and watch, who is also a trans woman, delightful, wonderful, normal, and they're actually being, not so much Heather, I don't think, but certainly others are being victimised by this new lot of people saying, "Oh, what would you know?" And I'm like, "Oh my God. What do you think? Yeah. What do you mean? Like they've been doing it a lot longer than you kids, and they're half the reason you can do what you do, because they fought to be able to be normalized." And most of the time people did look at them like, you might go, you might make the old, oh, is it a boy or a girl? I don't know. So therefore you just, if they're wearing a dress, it's a she. You know, and that was the easy way. Now you've got people
it's like the people that live beside me. I went to high school with her, and she's got a roommate, and I thought it was a guy. No, that's a girl. She dresses like a guy, and I'm like, I'm like, my eyesight's not the greatest, and I said, no disrespect, but I said, and she goes, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, right? It's like, I take people for who they are, who they want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I'm not going to pass judgment on anybody, right? But don't push it on me. Don't push it on me. Be who you are. Don't push it on me. What's that?
When I was a little girl, I went to it was a political party thing. My dad was part of the Labor Party here in Australia, so they had a big barbecue, and I went along, and there was a whole heap of TV and variety stars there, and I've gone up with my little autograph book and asked one of them that I really loved watching, can I have your autograph? Oh, sure, son, what's your name? Wow. I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, because I had short hair, I was all, and I thought, oh, sorry, love.
Sorry, I left my tricorder on the charger in the other room. So
I have been misgendered when I was a little girl, but so nobody wants to be called something they're not. But then
no, I've gone to a lot of drag shows, like many years ago. I've gone to some drag shows. Man, they are awesome.
I love them. I get
to be honest, that dates back to like vaudeville days. They're hilarious.
It does. Yeah.
Well, Shakespeare. Let's face it, Shakespeare. No one was women in his plays. Women weren't allowed to act, so the men had to dress up as women. No, it's been around forever. And I just
that was repeated with all the Monty Python original skits, where they always had it was always the same group of guys, 6 guys, but they would dress up as women ridiculously to pretend to be women, but they were following that same pattern.
My son is not the Messiah. He is just a very naughty boy. I love that movie. I just love that movie. Oh my God! But yeah. So I don't know. I think nowadays everyone's just too touchy. And if I talk about this subject with some of my kids, I don't, because they're too touchy.
You'll get canceled by your own children.
Hey, I just can't, because I am of that era where I just think everyone nowadays is just way too touchy, Like
Oh, definitely.
you're just too soft. Well, you've got no idea what it's like to, do things. You wouldn't know. So,
Mhm.
I don't know about that one. I don't. I must admit, I'm again old fashioned. There have been the drag queen story time. I don't know.
I'm kind of
I'm half
about
and
that
half
too.
because when I
If
was
it's done like the tradition, like we're talking about, like the vaudeville era, if it's done where honestly, and I don't mean disrespect in this way, but if it's done like where they're dressed up like a clown, just a caricature of somebody that they're not, to go in and tell a story, that's I don't see an issue with that. That's just a caricature of this they have created to tell a tale or
I don't see an issue if it's a proper drag queen, like she's wearing a dress and
yes,
that's okay.
and that's the thing is there is that difference that line has been very blurred the last several years, that between someone who's the traditional drag queen, everybody knows it's a guy that's got a dress on and got crazy makeup and a gigantic wig and all that stuff, because it's meant to be over the top. It's a caricature of a woman.
I don't mind that, but I think what they've been doing is they've actually had them in lingerie type.
They have.
Inappropriate clothing for a child to be looking at.
I don't agree with that.
So that I don't like. And something too, drag queen dance shows, but not drag queen respectable, drag queen in G-strings and all that sort of thing. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
What is that teaching kids? What are you doing?
What are you trying to show the kids? But I don't mind if the drag queen goes into the library and reads them a story as an over top. I mean, I grew up watching, like I say, Carlotta. She'd be in this beautiful dress. She had the chain. She actually used to date Peter Allen as a point of interest, Carlotta. But she was beautiful. Like, she was pretty. Like, and she had
a lot of them are. A lot of them are.
Beautiful. When I was younger, I went to Sydney once and I had to stay the night at someone's house, and he shared a flat with two gay guys, and they were going to Mardi Gras, and they were just regular sat next to me guys, and they said, "Oh, do you want to see us at Mardi Gras?" And I went, "Oh, you went to Mardi Gras?" And they went, "Yeah, watch this." And they put in a VHS and put in the tape, and one of them was done up as Cleopatra. And I can't remember because I was taken with the Cleopatra guy. I looked at him and I said, "That's you?" And he went, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, this sucks." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because you're a guy and you put on makeup and that thing." I said, "And you're more beautiful than one of the most beautiful women I've seen." I said, "I put on makeup. Wow. I can't even look that good." I said, "I'm jealous."
For that era, it's like cosplay. You would see it like Comic-Con or something like that. Yeah. It's a caricature of a woman that they're dressed up as and whatever. They're not going out and like hitting on guys saying, "Yes, I'm really a woman, and you should go home with me."
Because they were gay. So he was gay.
That's true.
And that's how he dressed for Mardi Gras. But he was homosexual. I sound like a nana. But then there's trans women, and I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't care. I'm fine with that. Whatever.
I am too.
No, I think that's why I'm fine with the newer thing, because they are hurting people. They're hurting people with their actions and words. They're not good people. They're being nasty, and they're taking away me, even taking away what I am, a woman, and Sam is. We're women, and we've gone through, a lot of us go through a lot to fight for what we've had, and a lot of us have been through a lot as women to raise our children on our own, or to combat bad people in our lives, and it's being taken away from us. It's been, "Oh, well, you're just a cis woman. You're lucky. You were born a woman." I'm like...
You don't understand what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah, almost. And it's very insulting and it's hurtful. And that's what I mean by this newer lot of people are coming. They hurt people. They're not making it good for the people that have been doing this for eons, like the people that have been trans for years, since the 60s, the 50s, that have grown up, and fuck, you've taken away from all of that. You're belittling their experiences and what they've had to go through to be accepted, and just walked in as a younger mob of people and going, well, you'll accept me. And as for you guys that have been around for years, I don't care. You're just that. You don't understand what pain is. Yeah, well, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We do. Yeah. But anyway, that's me. That's my Karen rant for the day. Well,
Karen speaks here on YouTube. Yes, it's
Karen's rant on Karen. Karen has a Karen rant. I made a joke with Crow about that. He said you should do a segment on your channel, Karen's Karen rant. But yeah, it's sad because there'll be people out there that think everything that just come out of my mouth is hate speech or whatever. It's
no, it's not.
No, it really isn't.
I love everybody. I want everyone to be happy, but you've got to be nice to people. You've got to be kind, Yeah. So I don't know, and I don't mind if they use my toilet. Well, I think all toilets should be. What do you call it? All public toilets should be universal. What do you call it? Multi-sexual, whatever. It's just a toilet.
Right.
You can just have, if anyone's worried, you can just have a toilet person. What do you call them? The ones that hand you the towel.
Toilet person?
Like, if anyone's really worried, you could just have
the toilet guardian.
Yeah, the toilet guardian.
Don't you be looking over the stall wall, sir, or ma'am.
Firstly, as a mother or a father, you wouldn't let your little child go into the toilet by themselves anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you take your kid into the toilet, whatever. And as a female going into a toilet, if there's a man, and I have done that. Australia Zoo here in Australia does not have women's and men's toilets. They have what's it called?
Unisex.
They have unisex toilets, but they're wide, like it's
omnisex.
Wide open,
Omnisex.
So you take safety, because it doesn't really matter if you go into a public toilet by yourself. If someone is going to go into the public toilet to do harm to someone, they'll sneak into the female toilet regardless,
right,
and wait. And vice versa. And that's what in history has shown, that when anything like that happens, it's someone who's snuck into the toilets and waited for their victim. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I think unisex toilets fix the problem. And if you've got issues with that, then you hold on until you get home.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have issues using a unisex toilet. I don't have issues. I used a man's toilet when I was on holiday in America, because they had the cleaning sign up on the female toilet, and I thought, I've really got to go. So I went into the men's toilet.
I've seen the same thing. I've seen women come into the men's toilet before at sporting events and stuff like that. It's like, the line's too big for mine. I got to go now.
I mean, I would hope I don't necessarily see a man swinging it out in the. I don't really want to look at that.
Yeah, it's not like there's some secret pact thing going on in either one where you're like, oh no, they're going to overthrow the other sex because their penis is hanging out, or I don't know.
So I think that one easy way to solve the toilet issue is just make them unisex, and anyone can use them, and
I think we should get rid of indoor toilets and everybody just goes outside.
Yeah, plant a couple of trees. Put a couple of trees, some dry leaves, a little hole dug in the floor.
That's all you need. That's all.
The men can pee on the tree. Plant lemon trees. Apparently, it's good for them. You could have a lemon tree garden for the men, and as for the women,
it's all yellow in the end. It's
all, that's right. But so I think that's one easy way to solve that problem of women and men sharing toilets. Just make it unisex, because honestly, the danger thing is
problems have been solved. We got it all done right here tonight on Sam's late night social issues problem.
Yeah, just an added thing: men, women, trans men, trans women. That fixes that. That can be the different things. But the problem is, I wonder how many athletes would compete in that. I don't know, because I don't know how many. I genuinely don't know how many trans men /trans women athletes there are. Whether there's enough
Yeah.
Which is the 28. I don't know. Or there may be some kind of strength test they could do to say, hey, well, you're a bit too strong to compete in this area with these women, but these women over here, you match their strength test, so you can go in with them, or whatever. There has to be a scientific way to fix it. I don't know.
There's the question. There's that dividing line.
But would you be well, that's what I'm saying. There shouldn't be a men's bathroom. It should be unisex. And no, yes, I would take my daughter, 8-year-old daughter, into it. I would take my daughter into a men's bathroom if that was the only bathroom available. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying unisex. So, and you should never send a child into a toilet by themselves anyway. Who does that?
That's true.
You don't do
That's
that.
true.
You don't stand outside the public toilet and say, in you go. Anyone who does that's sweet, because you don't know who's waiting in the stalls. And may I add, some women can be a danger to children. So it's not
yes.
all right. There's a definite proof that women can hurt children. So it's not a male-female thing. So I think unisex toilets, and just if you've got a child, you take them in. If you're a female and it's late at night, what are you doing? The same as if you're a male and it's late at night. Don't use the public toilets. You don't know who's in there. Go home.
That's right.
You've just got to think about your safety. So if you're in an abandoned area and there's no one much around, like you'd think about your safety regardless of whether it was a men's or female's toilet. You think, could be someone lurking. Same as you don't walk down a dark alley in the middle of the night because there could be a crazy person lurking. So it's all those sorts of things. But yeah, I don't know. I think we've solved most of the world's problems here.
I agree. We've
covered a lot of topics.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Prime Minister Karen from Australia, Prime Minister Sam from Canada, and President Enzo from the United States. We have it all.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, there's thousands of people out there now. Thank God they're not watching this because they'd rip me apart.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Somebody's gonna watch this, and I'm gonna get comments in there. Like,
hopefully no one will watch anything. Hopefully,
instead of foam.
Be like, what is Sam from Arden Paranormal talking about? They're like, really? We're not talking about anything wrong.
And shit.
We're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, what happened to our ghosts and shit?
Ghosts and shit. Do they?
Yeah.
Can they?
They do have their own separate bathroom. You don't want to go in there.
No, we don't want to go in a ghost bathroom. No. We've been on for almost 3 hours.
Really?
Almost 3 hours.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. What time is it there? Must be
1:51. 1:51 a.m.
Oh, no wonder no one's watching that except for your sister. Hi, sis.
I know. She's the only one who's left here. Yeah.
Hensley Paranormal popped in for a minute. I'd say he's gone.
Yeah.
Either that or his listening shaking.
They said hello, and it's like, oh, geez, they're talking about this. Let me get out of here.
Yeah, there's no ghost talk here.
No.
we talked about ghosts. We've talked about
unless they're trans ghosts, I'm not interested.
That's right. Oh, jeez. You're a dad.
That's too funny.
Actually, you would know what you're a dag means, would you? In Australia, we've got a saying like you call someone nerd. Nah, nerd wouldn't be right. Over here, like if you're sort of dopey, like, oh, you silly bugger, you silly thing. We call someone a dag. We just go,
dag?
Dag. Yeah, dag, which is actually what hangs off the back of a sheep's bum, but. A dag is actually.
I'm not sure who Laurel in Seattle is, but hello, this is curious. I don't know who Laurel in Seattle is, but this is okay.
I know who Laurel in Seattle is. Okay. Hi, Laurel. You have just the 3 of us solved the world's problems, Laurel.
That's it.
Yeah, we solved all the problems. We've talked about aliens, ghosts, trans issues, Doctor Who, Star Trek, boys and girls bathrooms, delete them, let's make them unisex. We've solved the sporting issue. We've solved everything.
We've covered everything.
We even had a Lost in Space reference in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
We've done a lot. We've been on for 3 hours. And
Yeah,
if
pretty
you're not,
much.
you might not have, Laurel, you may not have seen Enzo before, but I will be keeping in contact with Enzo because I reckon he'd be good value to come on with me and Heather. I think he'd like Heather. What do you think, Sam? Have you seen Heather? You've seen Heather. And
Who's Heather?
Heather is my friend. Come hither with Heather. She's a trans woman. From
very
Adelaide,
nice, very, very nice, very
typical
nice.
Australian. She's a giggle, like she's friggin' funny.
She's funny. She is funny.
She's heading to America soon. Actually, I think in another week or so, she's coming over to America. Yeah, people have been scaring her off though, saying she shouldn't go to Florida because in Florida they're bringing about some rule that if you're a trans person, you can't use the female toilets. I'm like, oh my God. I said, then don't use them, Heather. Just hold on or just freaking go behind a tree. Like, for God's sakes, you know.
Yeah.
It's Florida. You could crap out in the middle of the street and no one would care.
I don't know enough about Florida. All I know is that a lot of serial killers and strange men live in Florida. Florida men doing weird things is what I always see.
I know a strange guy that lives in Florida. His name is Rich Giordano.
Who? I'm not familiar with whatever that is you just said. Is that another trans activist that I'm not familiar with?
Crow lives in Florida. He's not strange.
So does Goofon. He's real strange.
Florida gets a lot of crap for the full Florida man gig. But the reason why that's a thing is in Florida, the state laws are such that the police blotter the logs that they keep, where it's, I arrested a guy for this, or I stopped a guy because he was peeing in a bush, or whatever it is. All the interactions are publicly available. So people that are in the news, the press, if they got a slow news day, all right, what's the local police blotter? Oh, Florida man, was arrested for having sex with a snake because someone was holding its head, or whatever it is. It's these things kind of happen everywhere. It's just not publicly available. But for the police blotter is publicly available in Florida. That's where all the Florida man stuff comes. It happens everywhere. It's just Florida. It's public knowledge.
Oh, look, I don't know, but I've had I don't know how do I keep in contact with you, Enzo?
With me?
Yeah.
I got a button for that.
Enzo.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. All truth and full disclosure. I don't know how the fuck Instagram works. I don't get it. I'm an old man. But Enzo underscore.
Instagram too, I don't know, but I can at least message you on the Instagram. Yeah, there it is. Instagram. I'm fixing it now. Hang on. Don't go. Let's see. I'd have to search for you. There we are. Enzo underscore Cirelli. Is that how you would pronounce that? Cyril?
Apparently, when my ancestors went through the in processing to the United States, they added an extra L and an E.
I think goodness, I think I've got you. Let me see.
Of course.
I think so. Yeah, it's a picture, like an animation picture of a man going like this.
Yeah,
like
scowling like he disapproves. Yes, that's
with a red star on his thing. There you go. I've just followed you, Enzo.
Oh, goodness.
Did it pop up? I don't know.
Did I miss something
speed of
here?
light is nowhere near as fast as you think it is. Let's see.
Did I miss something here? Did what pop up? What?
What?
Crow. Sam went away and Crow came back.
Where's Crow?
Hey, it's me.
Where's Crow? Where's Crow?
No,
Was
I'm
it on
joking. What you just said reminded me of Crow. There we go. I sent you a message. I'm all connected now.
On Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram. I don't have the Twitter.
Oh. I'm waiting on my Instagram to.
Oh, I've got a request.
My Instagram is just spinning for some reason. It's thinking about whether to accept you, apparently.
Okay.
Page unresponsive is what it says. Oh. Notifications. Here we go. Doof Paranormal.
That's me.
There you go. Followed.
Excellent. There you are. That way I can talk to you. So, yeah.
Talk away.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm talking now. I've been talking to you for near 3 hours.
What? When did that
hey,
happen?
Laurel, are you still there? Laurel's probably gone back to bed. But,
Can you guys hold down the fort for a second? My dog's got to go out and go pee.
Yeah. Of course.
We got it.
We've got it.
All right.
Is it to the male dog's bathroom or the female dog's bathroom?
The unisex dog.
Oh. The omnisex bathroom.
I do seriously think that's just the best way to go. They do it now in a lot of schools as well.
Right. Honestly, the way that you portrayed it, and I agree with you. I see where that's it solves a lot of problems, to be honest.
Well, because and that's the thing. Anybody that uses, even now, if I'm at the shopping centre and I use the public toilet, which I absolutely try to avoid because they're usually dirty. But if you're really stuck and you really have to go, even now when I walk in, I'll glance about and I'll just sort of think, yep, right, okay, I'm safe. As a grown woman in a perfectly safe shopping centre. So if it were a unisex toilet, and they're usually the doors to the unisex ones I've used are quite a wide door, like nothing's shut off. The only thing that is shut off are the cubicle doors. There's no urinals. So you obviously just use the regular toilet like you would at home. I mean, we don't have urinals at home. To me, it's safe. You would take those precautions even just using a female bathroom. And I'm sure men think about it too. When you go into a male bathroom, you don't know who's in there who might be deciding they're going to mug you or take your wallet or so you would be careful too, I would assume, going into a male bathroom. So you do what you got to do. And if it's unisex, you've probably got a better chance of being protected because you probably might go into the toilet and there might be a bloke there with his kid and I'm pretty safe going to the toilet here. Or you might walk in and there might be some creepy guy standing there, in which case you think, I just will hold on to it and walk out.
I'll wait till they leave.
Yeah. So, you just do what you're doing. Exactly, Laurel. Hey, Laurel, did you happen to see my episode today on any of my episodes? I put out a couple of episodes, one on the Silver Queen Hotel in Nevada, and I put another one out this morning for you this morning on the old hospital on College Hill. Yeah, see, because it's 4:00 in the afternoon here for me. I've been on the bloody computer just about all day talking to people, but I've been having fun. This is good fun. I like talking to fun people. I like having a good conversation back and forward. It's good.
And this was a great conversation, I feel like we had tonight. It was great.
I never say I'm right. I just have my opinions. And I could be 100% wrong. But it's nice to be able to voice your opinion.
I'm 95% wrong most of the time. So
yeah, I'm probably about 99% correct most of the time.
Oh.
I'm a joker. No, I'm
50% of the time I'm 100% right.
That's right. That's a pretty good. Actually, trans ghosts, when you think about it, all ghosts would be trans because they're transcending.
Transparent?
They're transparent. They're transcending.
Transitioning?
Dimensions. They're transitioning from. I suppose you're right, Laurel. Oh gosh. Well, Laurel's here. She's having a good old chinwag at the moment. Laurel in Seattle. Which Seattle, Laurel? The one on the Californian coast? Because isn't there two Seattles?
I don't think so. I'm only familiar
Is
with
there
a
two
lot.
Seattles? There's Sleepless in Seattle with Tom Hanks, where there's the Needle and Frasier. I love Frasier. But I'm sure there's another Seattle. Maybe I'm not thinking properly. Miami's fab for trans. The rest of Florida is if he. Mid-sentence, Laurel. Because my friend Heather is coming to Florida. I'm not sure where here in Florida, but everyone's scaring her a bit, sort of saying, "Don't use the toilets." I'm like, "Oh
It's
my Lord."
fine.
But apparently they're going to arrest you or something. If someone goes, "Oh, it's a man in the toilet," like a trans person, "Oh, there's a man," they can get arrested or whatever.
If you're just using the toilet, how is anyone going to know?
I think it's like that. You're going to have those bloody dickheads that rant about everything. To use my name in vain,
Right.
Karens who go, whatever. And quite frankly, I don't look at other people using the toilet when I go in. I glance.
I know that's the rule for men. I can only speak for men. When you go into the bathroom, there's no eye contact. You don't look at anybody.
No,
you go in, you do your thing, and you get the fuck out.
The only time that a female in a female toilet will look at another female is if it's in a, to use an old-fashioned word, disco, nightclub, where you're in there doing your lipstick or whatever.
See the hand come underneath of the wall. Hey, do you have an extra couple of squares? Yeah.
Yeah. Like girls are a bit different in the toilets, but in certainly when I use a public toilet that's not in something like that, if I'm at the shopping center or if I'm at a zoo or I'm at a whatever and I use the public toilet, you walk in, you have a quick glance
all
around.
a zoo, believe me. Everyone is a zoo.
It's just a protection thing. You just glance around. Okay, you don't really take great detail.
And that's just general preparedness. You don't want to be in a bad situation ever. So
no, so you just protect yourself. And quite frankly, sometimes you don't know because there's a lot of older women around and younger ones that, God bless them, they're not very attractive and you wouldn't know. Like they could just be a not very attractive female that looks manly. So you can't say.
Again, that depends on how far along my thought process is. But
how good your goggles are. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't look. I just go in and make sure there's no obvious person standing there
she's a little homely
and a rope. No worries, Laurel. I should probably go now anyway because it's after 4:00 in the afternoon. And
so late.
I've been on here for 3 hours. Oh well, no. I mean, I've been in here on the computer all day.
Me too.
It's wintertime. What else you got going on?
Oh well, yeah, it's wintertime here. No, I've got bloody stuff to do outside. I was supposed to put up a fence today. I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm a jack of all trades.
Me too.
Most Australians are, from my experience.
Jacks of all trades.
I don't even know if my sister's still here or not.
Maybe not. Laurel's just saying goodbye because I guess it's got some ungodly time of the morning in America, so she's probably going to bed. But I might step out too. Sam,
yeah, I'm gonna end it too. Yeah.
We're gonna end it. It's been too much, but we have solved the world's problems, so that's
it. There's nothing left to do. We have solved the world's problems. We have
we can rest
rid the world of any issues.
Yeah. Oh goodness! Thank God.
Oh, she's still here. Okay, my sister is still here.
Yeah, that's all right, sis. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I'm gonna go.
We'll let you off the hook this time.
Check on my children.
This time.
And this has been fun, Sam. Thanks for inviting me.
You have a good time? I did too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, it was
Me
good
too.
fun, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done this in a while with people up on the panel. So yeah, this was good.
I really miss the Friday night hang because other people would do that on their shows, but they've been away for a while. So
a long time.
Who's the other people? Do I know them? No, I don't know them.
Enzo.
What, Enzo?
No.
What?
No, probably not, Karen. Like there are more people like from the UFO community. That's actually how I met Enzo. Well, Karen, you know Cassie, Oracles and Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I met Enzo and all these other people through her.
The UFO garage folks and the paranormal
Chop Shop.
There's a bunch
Chad
of
Smith
folks
podcast. Yeah. Big Willie. Chad Smith. We're all Chad Smith.
Wait a minute. Laurel, I'm not quite sure what you mean you're confused by. I'm not in your chat, Karen. I'm confused. You're not in my chat. This is Sam's chat.
Yeah, this is my live stream. Art and Paranormal.
This is Sam's live stream. It's okay. We're all confused.
What's happening?
I don't know. I've got no avocado for my toast.
I love that was the takeaway for
my
all
poor,
of us.
my poor almost 80-year-old mother.
I'm sorry, the way you do that, Enzo, cracks me up. All right,
yeah, this has been fun.
I'm going to go, and Enzo, I'll keep in touch, and maybe we can do a
It's
Friday
a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you some more. This is great.
Yeah, you'll see me more.
We'll do this again.
I don't go away. I'll take what you're having, Laurel. Yeah, I don't know. We're just laughing. Oh, we were making a joke earlier about the younger people today, that the only problems they really have, that the fact that a disaster for them would be, I've got no avocado for my toast. I haven't got an avocado. But the way Enzo does it.
I've got no avocado for my toast.
Oh my God. We need to make we may need to make a GIF or something. What do you call it? You know, like a meme.
A meme.
Crazy ass background.
I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thanks, Sam. Thank you, Enzo. I love you, and I'm out of here. Bye.
Bye. And then there were two.
It's always down to two.
And Laurel says, no avocado, life is over. Well, this has been fun. It really has.
This has been a lot of fun. I thank you very much for having this tonight. I kind of needed this.
Yeah, me too. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again, for sure.
Folks hanging out, talking whatever they want to talk. Just the conversation just bleeds into whatever it is. We covered a lot of topics.
We covered a lot of shit tonight, man. All right. I'm going to end this. Thank you again, Enzo. Thank you to everybody who put up with this in the chat. And we will try and do this again another time. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.
Boy.
Boy.